What's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything else, I want to remind everybody this is episode number 622. Episode number 622 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And once again, I would like to extend and implore you to please spread this show link around like wildfire, okay? Spread it all over the internet and throughout the world. And let everybody you know, let them all know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, baby. And I love being independent now. Type this in your browser right now, and once again, add this to your bookmarks, add this to your favorites. The following, ghost.report, baby. That's all you have to type in your browser, ghost.report. Add that to your favorites, baby. Add that to your bookmarks. And make sure to let everybody know across the internet and throughout the world, baby. This is underground. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, you are listening to the underground, okay? And before I get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please follow me on my only social media representation on the internet. And that's, of course, on Gab, folks. And if you don't have yourself a Gab account, well, then I don't know what the hell you're doing. Go and get yourself a free Gab account. All right? And once you do, follow me under the name Politics Ghost. All right? All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow on Gab, folks. And before I get into anything, I do want to extend my sincerest gratitude and thanks to everybody in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. Those that were there with us, we were actually listening into the Brett Kavanaugh hearings yesterday, and there was a lot of us in there, man, and we were listening to it, chatting, discussing it. So I want to extend my gratitude to those folks that were in there, most, if not all the time in there. It was unbelievable. We're going to talk about that there today, but if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, it's as simple as this, okay? All you got to do is go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, and click the subscribe button for premium content, okay? Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, go ahead and private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, and I'll go ahead and private message you back with a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. Now, folks, I want to talk about something before I know that the Brett Kavanaugh situation and a lot of different issues are probably on the forefront of your psyche right now, but one thing I want to talk about before we get into the cryptocurrency and the money financial portion of the broadcast is where we are headed as America, all right? I mean, where are we headed as America at this point in time, folks? I want to be completely honest with you. This does stem from the Brett Kavanaugh hearings. I don't want to get too far into what I'm going to be discussing later on in the broadcast, but I think that we're sensing an element of evil versus good in this political spectrum that we call American politics. Now, what do I mean by evil? I'm talking about people that are just completely soulless. And unfortunately, the majority of them, I'm not saying all of them, but the majority of them reside on the left-wing Democrat portion of the political spectrum, and these people are willing to sell out their own mothers, their own daughters and sons, whoever it takes to attain political power in this country. And what's really unfortunate, folks, is that America itself, I have to say, just by observing from my own eyes, ears, I have to say that most of the young people in today's America have a certain level of immaturity that I think that they just can't break out of. One thing that I've heard thrown around here as of late in pop culture is something called, quote-unquote, adulting. Now, what the hell does that mean, adulting? That means that it's people that refuse to grow up. They refuse to grow up, and they're finally finding themselves in a position in their lives where they're doing adult things. Even though they may be in their late 20s, 30s, etc., they coined this term adulting. Now, the reason I bring this up is because I'm talking about immaturity of people, is because I can't believe the amount of disingenuous emotionalism that is brought on by the Democrats that is legitimately fallen for by the majority of America out here. And why do I say it's the majority of America? Well, folks, and I hate to get into the Brett Kavanaugh situation, but why do you think that the Republicans have been capitulating ever since this sandbag rape allegation of Blasey Ford? Why do you think they've been capitulating? These people are, most of them at least, are trying to win a midterm election, and they're starting to realize that women who make a good portion of the majority of the voting population are actually falling for this disingenuous emotionalism that has been perpetually recited and charaded by the Democratic Party. You name them. Cory Booker. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris has, I don't know why this woman thinks she's going to run for president. She has no personality, for Christ's sake. This Blumenthal, a stolen valor Blumenthal, this asshole that claimed that he was in Vietnam and then had to take it back. Yet the people of Connecticut still elect this moron. I'm talking about all these people on the left, folks. They are soulless. And whenever they are conveying this soulless, disingenuous emotionalism for political gain, the morons that are looking in the boob tube, when the talking heads are showing the news and they show the clip of Cory Booker, this is my Spartacus, I am Spartacus moment, and all this crap, people are falling for it. People are falling for this disingenuous emotionalism, and I can't stand it anymore. I can't stand it. And what's unfortunate is that this disingenuous emotionalism has crept its way up into politics. And nowadays, folks, if you want to become a liberal, if you want to become a Democrat, all you have to do is act virtuous in a virtue signaling capacity all the time. Go out there and say, hey, what are you talking about? I'm for black people. Hey, what are you talking about? All this disingenuous liberal, it's all you got to do is pretend that you care. You don't even need to be a good actor anymore. Look at fucking Cory Booker, for Christ's sake. People believe this shit? You don't even have to be a good actor. You just have to say it. You have to say that you care about people. You just got to say things, and people believe it, man. And that's evil. I'm sorry, man. What the Democrats are doing here is just pure evil, and I can't believe these people can sleep at night. Moreover, I don't just blame these sick, demented Democrats that are utilizing this disingenuous emotionalism to manipulate the political landscape. I also blame the people. The people that are falling for this disingenuous emotionalism. How can America not see that this ridiculousness is all political? It's all political, and it's not even a calculated, decent political move at that. You know what the Democrats are doing? The Democrats are politicizing rape. Politicizing rape. Now, lest we forget, folks, that we have many people on the Democrat side that have already come out. It's come out like Keith Ellison, the deputy chair of the Democratic Party. The deputy chair of the Democratic Party, Keith Ellison. We have his ex-girlfriend and her son claiming physical abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse, etc. And yet Keith Ellison continues to run for the Attorney General spot in Minnesota. We've got Cory Booker trying to be virtuous in this Kavanaugh hearing when he himself, in his own autobiography, in his own book, claimed that he sexually abused some woman in 1984, New Year's Eve, when he was 15 years old. And yet, where does the standard start and where does it stop? And to who does the standard start and begin with, and when does it end? I can't believe that America at this point in time has fallen this low in disingenuous emotionalism, not being able to read people. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest with you. And look, I hate to say this, but if this is the way America is, man, then what am I doing here? If America is nothing more than a bunch of emotional, immature imbeciles that'll fall for a Cory Booker emotionalist bullshit, or some of these dumb women that are coming out and trying to bark like they give a crap when they could care less about anything else other than their own political advancement. That's the only reason that anyone on the left gives a damn about anything. And I can't believe that people in America fall for this. They fall for it. Now, I don't know if it's because of the public education system. I don't know if it's because the left has destroyed the family unit. They've destroyed the family unit by taking away fathers out of the equation, and the majority of people nowadays are raised by single mothers. And you can't say that's a lie. Our dysfunctional society at this point in time, and I've been broadcasting for 10 years, folks. You can go back to the old archives. Go back to the old archives at blogtalkradio.com/ghost. They're still there. I've been saying that single parents were going to cause a major problem in the social landscape of America. And if you take a look at modern-day America today, that's exactly what has come to fruition. Look at the dysfunction amongst our social landscape in this country. And I blame the left for trying to, not just trying, they've done it. They have destroyed the family unit of mother and father. And I directly correlate the single mother epidemic that we have seen over the past 20 years. I wouldn't even call it 20 years. I would say 15 to 10 years into why we're in the current position we're in. We're emotionally immature out here as a country. We've got males that are purposely trying to emasculate themselves because a bunch of bull-dyke, muff-diving women are claiming that their masculinity is toxic. You've actually got people drinking something called Soylent. Soylent. And they're proud of it. I mean, don't you stupid morons realize that was a fucking movie called Soylent Green? Soylent Green? I don't even want to tell you what the movie was about. Why don't you go watch it as you continue to guzzle down your Soylent? You've got women nowadays that are utilizing their position in society. And what is women's position in society? It is that of a protected class. And if you ladies are trying to say that you're not a protected class, give me a fucking break. Have you, and I'm talking about you gentlemen out there, go and get a divorce while you have a wife and a family 85+% of the time, probably more than that. But 85+% of the time, the woman is going to get those children, even if the woman was a prostitute. Because the court will look on it as if she was trying to feed her child. That's why she was prostituting. This is a protected class. If there happens to be an argument at your home, and there happens to be someone next door that calls the police arrive at your home. The police nowadays, and I'm not trying to say anything against law enforcement, but I'm going to be completely honest. Law enforcement is not perfect. They're only doing what they're told to do, and what they're told to do is get as many callers as they possibly can. And what easy caller to get than to go and arrive on a domestic violence situation? Because you know, folks, if any violent kind of activity happens in a home, It is domestic violence. It is not a traditional assault. It's not your traditional law. It's automatic domestic violence, meaning that the cops can have at their own discretion their ability to take you away. And you see, this is a protected class. Women are a protected class. And what have we done with this protected class? What have women done with it? We are now at a point in American history where now any woman can come out and make any kind of an accusation, sexually abusive or rapist in nature, about a man, and they are automatically to be believed. This is according to what the Democrats have been saying. All of them have said it, and now it seems to me that the American public believes this shit. That every woman that comes out with a sexual abuse claim must be believed. And you know what these Democrats are doing by trying to suggest that to the American people? They are trying to negate our Constitution. They're trying to negate innocent until proven guilty. They are trying to negate due process. And you see, folks, that's what communists want. They want to destroy our institutions. They want to destroy the rule of law. They want to destroy due process, because in every communist country, there is no law. There is no due process. There is only the word of the dictatorship of the proletariat. There is only the word of the centralization that is the government. And I can't believe that in America, which is the last bastion of freedom, in which the people that are roaming the streets, no matter who you are, you have the ability to choose your own leaders. And if you take a look at Washington, D.C. today, if you happen to take a look at that Brett Kavanaugh hearing and take a look at the characters that are supposed to be representing us, what does that say about us? What does that say about America's general population? That we elect such disingenuous, pathetic wastes of life that are so soulless that they're willing to ruin people's lives, trivialize rape, do whatever it takes just to obtain power. And that's all the Democrats are trying to do, is obtain power. And I cannot believe that we have this many emotionally, mentally immature people in America that are actually falling for this nonsense. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I try to pinch myself hoping that I'll wake up from a bad dream, but I can't believe it. What are you people bitching about in this country? Do you understand that you people are literally dramatizing everything on your own? You're being drama queens. Okay, so what? You lost the 2016 elections, you stupid morons. Get over it. All right? All you're doing now is ruining the country. This is what I called for at the beginning of the last broadcast. Where are the liberals that care about America instead of being a bunch of sellout globalists? And you want to know why the Democrats are sellout globalists? They want open borders. They want open borders. And without borders, we have no country. And without a country, we are in globalism, damn it! We are in a battle right now, and I can see it, and I hope that you all can see it. This is good and evil. What is your problem, Democrats? And I'm talking to you people that hate Trump so much. Okay, you hate him. Whatever reason why you hate him, take a look at the country. Take a look at the economic prosperity. Take a look at the investment that's coming back. Take a look at the jobs that are now flourishing all over the place. Take a look at the opportunity for everyone. What is your problem? President Trump has now made diplomatic relations with North Korea when most of you fucking leftist liberals were talking about that Trump was going to somehow cause a nuclear war. This is a battle between good and evil, and you can't, I'm going to be honest with you folks, if you did not watch that Brett Kavanaugh hearing, then by God, I mean, you need to watch it again, because it is between good and evil. These fucking Democrats are evil. And look, I'm going to talk about the Brett Kavanaugh opening statement that he gave, which is probably one of the most emotional speeches I've ever heard given by a man. I felt bad for Kavanaugh. I cried when Kavanaugh was crying. I could feel the pain of this man. I could feel the pain. This is a true conservative here. I mean, they detailed, humiliated this guy into how many beers he had. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm telling you, folks, it is a battle between good and evil. And I want to be honest, I think evil's winning. And I think that these Democrats actually have people in this country so bamboozled that they fall for this emotionalism. They fall for this disingenuous garbage. And I don't know what else to say. I don't see any optimism at this point. I'm optimistic because Donald Trump is in office. But by God, I mean, you look at the capitulation by the Republicans, they know that enough people in America are falling for this horse shit. And I can't believe it, man. And you know what? You women are only ruining yourselves. And the reason I say this is because you same feminists, you same liberal women that are out here condoning the character assassination, the breaking down of a man and his family in Brett Kavanaugh, you people wouldn't be able to do this if you weren't protected by American men. And I'm going to talk about this later. We had an Iraqi, fashion blogger and Instagram model with 2.7 million followers was shot dead today in Baghdad because they wanted her not to show off to every other girl out there. You got Islamic Sharia law freaks out there. And you see, you same liberal feminist, whenever you're marching in your stupid million woman march, you're always marching with women in hijabs. You're always marching with women in hijabs. You're always trying to be pro-Islam. This is Islam right here. And without American men protecting you, protecting all of you women from an anti-woman world, because if you don't think that this world is anti-woman, why don't you take a look at life, you dumb fucking idiot bimbos? Why don't you stop watching whatever the fuck you're watching? Stop sitting there trying to find out what good platypus looks good with your cunt. I don't care. What you need to start looking at is that there are women all over the world that are not just being oppressed. They're being subjugated. They're being enslaved. Look at this Iraqi Instagram model. I'm going to talk about her later. This is Iraq, remember? We supposedly liberated this country. We were supposed to liberate this country and make it just like our own. And take a look at what happened. And this is your liberal and feminist idea of accepting Islam as one of your allies. You people are idiots. All of you. That's why I said it's a battle between good and evil in America. It's a sad day in America today. It's a sad day in America when we've got Democrats trivializing rape, politicizing rape, and utilizing it as a means of obtaining political power. It's fucking pathetic is what it is. It's pathetic! I mean, I want to be honest with you. I don't feel very enthusiastic being up here right now. I'm not. It's a Friday. I mean, I'm jaded right now. I mean, just by where my goddamn country is going. It pisses me off, man. I'm not very excited about being here. I want to be honest. I want to drink again, for Christ's sake. I'm sitting over here trying to stop myself from fucking going off the health deep end over here. I want to drink. I mean, what kind of a fucking world are we living in? What kind of a country is this? What kind of people are these? What kind of fucking people are these, for Christ's sake, damn it? Ugh. Give me some cola here. I can't help it, man. I gotta have a soft drink. I gotta have something, man. I mean, look at this country where we're going. Look at how pussy whipped we are, man. It's pathetic. You women wouldn't have the authority to do what you do if it wasn't for American men protecting you and protecting this country. So how about having a little bit of fucking appreciation instead of calling every fucking man rapist? You ungrateful Western pieces of shit! Ah! God! I mean, look, I'm sorry, folks. Call me a sexist. Call me a fucking whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't really care. A snake, a lizard. I don't really care. But by God, how much more does this world have to go down the tubes? How many more mulligans do we have to give women before we start realizing that putting them in charge of anything is just a bad fucking idea? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I mean, how many more countries have to be driven into depressions? I mean, how many more women have to screw companies over and lay off? How many more women have to fuck shit up before we start realizing that this whole woman liberation bullshit was a bad fucking idea? Jesus Christ! And if I'm wrong, well then prove me wrong, women. Prove me wrong then, alright? Tell me one significant thing. As a matter of fact, I got my Gab open right now, okay? I got my Gab open. Tell me one significant fucking feat that women have done, alright? And don't give me this, well, we had the children. We had the... Well, get the fuck out of here! We had the children. We would have forced you to have the children whether you liked it or not. I mean, you dumb broads, you're so stupid. You know that? I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so sexist, but listen. What did the caveman do to the woman to go get him? Remember, they take a club, and they club them over the head, knock them out, drag them to their cave, and there you had it. But where do women go now? Where do women go now to go get men or to go have fun? They go to the club! They go to the fucking club! They go to the club to get clubbed over the head with bullshit, and I'm tired of this shit, man! How many more mulligans are we just going to allow women to have? Huh? And look, I'm not trying to say that there aren't exceptions to the rule. I'm not going to try. Look, I know that there's probably exceptions to the rule, but what have I always said on this broadcast? I've always said that a group is defined by their majority. I mean, what have women done to advance human civilization? What have women done? I would like for somebody to give me just one thing. One thing. Just fucking one. Look, there's nobody saying anything. You want to know why? Because they can't think of anything. And if that's the case, then what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we giving women so many mulligans out here? We're the men of this fucking country. All right? Without us going out there and fighting the wars, without us going and building the fucking buildings, without us building the roads, building the railroads, and inventing the things that are fucking necessary, I mean, what would you women be doing? What would you be doing? You wouldn't... God, it just pisses me off. Look, I don't want to talk about this anymore, man. It just pisses me off because this is where we're going. This is the direction we are going in America, and that's why I'm telling all you young men out there that are getting sick and tired of these American women, I don't blame you. You've got the internets, okay? Try to find somebody in another country that still respects the family, still respects the marriage between a man and a woman, that has values, and that's monogamous. Believe me, they're out there. You've got appreciative women out there. You just got to unfortunately find them in a worldwide scale now instead of America. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. And I'm telling you, when men start importing women in mass, women who are now open borders and pro-immigrant will reverse that view very fast if they start getting replaced by immigrant women. And I'm not even kidding, man. I am not joking. I mean, the women are doing it now, right? They're trying to bring in... I don't know. They're trying. I don't want to get into this. I'm just so sick, man. I don't even want to do the broadcast now. And you want to know why? Because, I mean, it's not as if I'm going to reach people that are going to actually understand what I'm saying here. I mean, I know that there's people listening. Don't get me wrong, and I thank you for listening. But by God, man, I mean, we have a majority of people that are looking at fucking Rachel Muff Diving AIDS Poshole Maddow for their information and news, and once they hear what comes out of her muff diving head, they think they know what's going on in the world today. You know what I mean? They think, I mean, and you can't say that. Look, let's just go cover cryptocurrency. I'm tired of talking about this shit. All right, we'll talk about it later. I got a whole bunch of fucking production notes. We're going to talk about this right now here, or later on, because we're going to go through the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation circus. We're going to go through it all. Anyway, let me get to some cryptocurrency here, folks, for all the folks that are out there wondering what the hell's going on in the cryptocurrency markets. Well, folks, yesterday we saw a massive rally. And why are we seeing a massive rally, folks? Because of news. News. Now, of course, yesterday's rally was the Coinbase effect. Moreover, you've got Ripple signing more deals to legitimize them in the financial institution arena. You were getting that much closer into potentially legitimizing cryptocurrency within the regulatory bodies of the United States. So you've got a lot of people, a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of positivity going into the cryptocurrency markets right now. But unfortunately, you got sell-offs today, much like the stock market, to say the least. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at where we're at. Now, the last time we talked together, I think we were at about 214 billion. Right now, the current market capitalization for the entire cryptocurrency market is $220 billion market capitalization. I saw it as high as about 224 billion yesterday. So it was a pretty good 36-hour little rally here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on. Right now, folks, everything is in the red because we're coming down from this rally on this Baller Friday. As a matter of fact, happy Baller Friday to everybody out there. I'm sorry that I'm a little jaded, but after what we saw in the Brett Kavanaugh hearings, man, it's not good, man. It's not a good day in America. It's a sad day in America, to say the least. Anyway, let's get to Bitcoin, all right? BTC. Current market capitalization for Bitcoin is $114 billion market cap. Circulating supply is 17.2 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has gone down 0.73%. Current price for Bitcoin is $6,643.93 per Bitcoin. Now, I want to be honest, folks, you got a lot of mainstream business media that are touting an end-of-the-year rally in cryptocurrency. Now, you can look this up for yourself on Google, but there are many different mainstream business media. So what does that say to me? That says to me that they may be prepping here. They may be prepping. And you all that have been listening to me on my cryptocurrency portion of the broadcast, you know that there is a direct correlation with the market moving and the mainstream business media touting whatever it is that they're touting. So I just want to say, keep an eye out for that. All right, we got mainstream business media touting an end of the year rally for crypto. So I'm just letting everybody know here. Just letting everybody know. Let's get to Ethereum. We've got people also in the mainstream media talking about a bounce back from Ethereum. I think I talked about that on the last broadcast. You could probably do a search and find that for your own, but a lot of media claiming that there's going to be a bounce back here, so just keep that in mind. Let's get to Ethereum. ETH. Current market capitalization for ETH is $22 billion market capitalization. The circulating supply for Ethereum is 102 million. 102 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Ethereum has gone down 2.91%. Current price for Ethereum is $222.38 per Ethereum. Now, let's talk a little bit about Bitcoin Cash, baby. I've been telling you, keep your eye on Bitcoin Cash. It took a major increase here since the last contraction. It is now coming down from that, but during the last contraction, we saw Bitcoin Cash get as low as about 400 and change. Take a look at it today, folks. Bitcoin Cash, symbol BCH. Current market cap is $9.3 billion market capitalization. The circulating supply is 17.3 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, we have had Bitcoin Cash go down 4.69%. But take a look at this price. Take a look at this price. $539.20 per Bitcoin Cash. Let's go ahead and take a look at Litecoin. Litecoin did the same thing yesterday. It went up a few percent. I think it was up to about 9 or 10%, if I'm not mistaken, in this rally for the past 36 hours. It is now coming down. Let's take a look at Litecoin, symbol LTC. Market capitalization is $3.6 billion market cap. Circulating supply is 58.4 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Litecoin has gone down 2.09%. Current price for Litecoin, $61.92 per Litecoin. Once again, I don't know what to say about Litecoin, man. I mean, you got Charlie Lee screwing up the coin, with his little Twitter antics, so I don't know what the hell's going on, all right? I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway, let's continue. Monero, that's it. Monero XMR. Current market capitalization is $1.9 billion market cap. Circulating supply is 16.4 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Monero has gone down 1.85%. Current price for Monero is $117.07 per Monero. Now, we've seen a creep back on Dash, folks. It's a good time to get those damn Genesis-mining.com contracts, folks, all right? And the reason I'm hyping them, man, is because I want everybody to profit. All right? I want everybody to profit right now. Right now, crypto is low. So if you're going to make any kind of an investment or move on crypto, it's best to do it now before the damn prices start creeping up. And as a matter of fact, if you want a link to genesis-mining.com, go ahead and take a look at my Gab right now. Take a look at my Gab, genesis-mining.com. I'm strongly suggesting the Dash, possibly even the Monero, look pretty attractive. Bitcoin, because everybody uses Bitcoin, it's on the top of mind on everybody. It's going to be around for a long time. Just for the fact that there's 5-year Bitcoin Genesis mining contracts, it's entertainable there on the low end. But regardless, folks, if you are going to entertain purchasing a genesis-mining.com contract, you got to use the discount code, baby. And the discount code, everybody's got to use the discount code, WEA296. Once again, the discount code for genesis-mining.com is WEA296. Now, let's go back to Dash, folks, because we are seeing somewhat of a sell-off on Dash. Nice and low prices, I'm telling you. You got mainstream media talking about an end-of-the-year rally, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Let's take a look at Dash, DASH. Market capitalization is $1.5 billion market cap. Circulating supply is 8.3 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Dash has gone down 3.94%. Current price for Dash, folks, $187.41 per Dash. Let's go ahead and get to Zcash, baby. ZEC is the symbol. Once again, I like Zcash, all right, for a lot of different reasons. It's recently rallied, but is now pulling back because we're currently seeing a market pullback. So let's go ahead and take a look at ZEC. Market capitalization is $668 million in market cap. The circulating supply is a very low 4.8 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Zcash has gone down 4.52%. Current price for Zcash is $136.37 per Zcash. Let's go ahead and take a look at Quantum, folks. Now, Quantum here has just been released on the Kraken That's right, for you folks that are trading on Kraken, you can now obtain some quantum QTUM on Kraken, and it's only a matter of time, baby, before QTUM once again starts bouncing the hell back. If you would have gotten in on the past couple of weeks when it was at 3 and change, you could have sold off at about $4.15, I think was the high yesterday. So, once again, another attractive component of QTUM is the high frequency, the high volume, I should say, and the pattern or swing trading play that could be made on here, because it seems as if that's what everybody's doing based on the volume and the price fluctuation. Let's take a look at Quantum QTUM. Market cap is $343 million market cap. Circulating supply is 88 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, it has seen a sell-off since the last rally. It is down 3.17%. Current price for Quantum QTUM is $3.90 per Quantum, all right? Anyway, folks, let me go ahead and get to the last coin here because I'm running out of time. Unfortunately, I talked a little bit too much at the beginning, but it needed to be said. Let's take a look at 42 Coin. Once again, one of my long-term investments. Inner Circle, True Capitalist Radio chat room also have entertained this as an option for investment. I'm just covering it because, once again, this is not an ICO coin. This coin was not distributed via ICO, so it is a legal coin even under United States potential regulations, whether it's regulations with the SEC, financial regulations, etc., because what is really going to be tricky is the ICO sold coins when U.S. regulators finally regulate the cryptocurrency market. A lot of different reasons. Once again, 42 coins are only circulated. That's it. There's none more than 42 coins circulated. So you got a lot of things that I like about this, but it has pulled back with the market. So let's take a look at it. 42 coin. Market cap is 948,000. Circulating supply, like I said, is only 42 coins. It has pulled back with the rest of the market. It is down 6.74%. Current price for 42 coin is $22,591.44 per 42 coin. And that concludes the cryptocurrency component of the financial part of this broadcast. Let's go ahead and get to stocks, shall we? Now, stocks are flat, unless we forget that the reason that they're flat is because the interest rate increased this past Wednesday. Even though we saw a rally yesterday in the market, it was based on pure news. And that's what I keep telling everybody now, that the interest rate continues to be risen, or the Federal Reserve continues to rise interest rates, is that what's going to move stocks, what's going to move cryptos is news, okay? And there was a lot of news yesterday. There was some news today, but you got a lot of political uncertainty. I don't think that the investors like what happened, not just today, but throughout the whole Kavanaugh debacle. So you got a lot of things weighing down the Dow, weighing down the stock market. Lest we forget, I've been talking a lot about oil prices. Those are rising like I said they were here in the past couple of weeks. We're going to talk about those, but this is what's causing the market to be flat. Now, even though we have a flat baller Friday for the stock market, I want to remind everybody that U.S. stocks today have seen the best quarterly gains in 5 years. Can you believe that? I mean, don't you know that you're in the Trump economy, baby? You know you're in the Trump economy. U.S. stocks see best quarterly gains in 5 years. I'm telling you, I love every day that this president is in office, but I don't know about the social landscape of America. You know, I don't know about these midterms. You know, we'll talk about it in a minute, but let's get a look at the stocks, all right? Let's take a look at stocks first. We got the Dow Jones Industrial. It was up today, very modestly, but it was still up 18.38 points, a percentage increase of 0.07%, closing out the Dow at 26,458.31 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. We've got the S&P down also modestly. It is down 0.02 points. A no percent change, closing out the S&P at 2,913.98 points for the S&P 500. We've got the NASDAQ. It's also up modestly, 4.38 points, a percentage increase of 0.05%, closing out the NASDAQ at 8,046.35 points for the NASDAQ composite. Now let's go ahead and take a look at commodities. Now, lest we forget, the U.S. Interest rates, thanks to the Federal Reserve, the U.S. interest rates have gone up from between 2 to 2.25%. So that means our dollar has value. Anyway, let's take a look at the commodities and see how the commodities traders traded the valuable dollar. It doesn't look too valuable if you take a look at the commodities, and that'll make it very interesting because there's a lot of things that can be read in the commodities markets today. Energy right now, we all know that there's major conflict in the Middle East, and that major conflict combined with the fact that what we announced on Monday, that you have a coordinated effort between the UK, Germany, France, EU, the Russians and Chinese, they are going to make a multilateral agreement that they are going to continue to buy. They're going to buy Iranian oil, defying U.S. sanctions, and they're going to pay them in another payment system. So just that news alone, people in the commodities markets, which tend to be smarter than those in the stock market, I'm going to be honest with you, you want to take a look at the price of commodities, because commodities, with the exception of gold and silver, commodities are finite. They're finite, and commodities traders seem to be more bare bones and less optimistic and trade on realism as opposed to stock traders. So very interesting what we have here. Let's take a look at energy, okay? Energy, WTI sweet crude. What have I told you about these oil prices, baby? WTI is up $1.13, a percentage increase of 1.57%. Current price for WTI sweet crude is $73.25 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. We've got Brent crude. It's also up $1, a percentage increase of 1.22%. Current price for Brent crude oil, $82.72 per barrel of Brent crude. Let's take a look at gasoline. Gasoline is up 0.90%. Natural gas is down, folks. 1.57% decrease for natural gas. And what have I told you all about heating oil? What have I told you? I said that you could profit off heating oil every fucking year. I keep telling people this every year. I wonder if anybody's listening. Good God. Anyway, this is just the beginning as far as I'm concerned when it comes to heating oil. Take a look at heating oil. Today alone, it is up 1.24% increase on the day for heating oil. It's an every year play. It's always going to get cold. And especially in those northern states which use heating oil mostly, they're going to need it. It's a supply and demand thing. Come on, Maine. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the metals, shall we? The metals! Let's take a look at the goddamn metals. Now, what's very interesting is that even though the Federal Reserve raised interest rates 2 to 2.25%, gold has got buyers coming into the market. It's on the plus side. So that says to me that, many of the people that are in the investment community are a little bit scared, to say the least, and they're going after a little bit of safety. And gold and silver metals, they always represent safety when it comes to investments, and there should be no reason why they're on the plus side today, but that's very interesting. These are factors that you got to factor in when you're trying to calculate the market. Gold is up $8.80, a percentage increase of 0.74%. Current price for gold is $1,196.20 per troy ounce of gold. We've got silver. Silver is up 42 cents, a percentage increase of 2.95%. I mean, look at that silver price. Now, I'm going to be honest with you folks. For you folks that are investing in metals, I'm all silver over gold. Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm wearing, the metal, I'm going to be wearing gold all day. You know what I mean? But as it pertains to an investment, silver is where it's at because there's a finite amount of silver. And silver is a very sought-after commodity for industrial use, not just for the silver component as it being a metal. I mean, it is an industrial use metal, and it's going to get more and more scarce as time goes by. So very interesting that silver has jumped 2.95% on the day. Current price for silver is $14.71 per troy ounce of silver. We've got copper. It is up 0.79%. Platinum is up 0.72%. Let's go ahead and get to the agriculture, shall we? Corn, the grains, I should say. Corn is down 2.33% decrease. We've got wheat. It is down 0.78%. Oats, good God for oats. Oats is up 1.73% increase. Rough rice, it is down 0.05%. Soybeans are down 1.11%. Soybean oil is down 0.55%. And canola is down 0.22%. Let's go ahead and get to the soft, shall we? Now, cocoa. Now, as you know, cocoa is the base of chocolate, and the majority of cocoa is produced in Africa. Africa. So, with that being said, it seems as if, even though we're seeing the Ebola flare-up, which has been my speculation on why cocoa has been going up as of late, it has gone down to some extent. So, I don't know what this says. I don't know what this means, but maybe it's the value of the dollar. Maybe there's not that much scarcity, etc. But cocoa is down 2.70% decrease. Let's get to coffee, shall we? Now, coffee, folks, I don't know what the hell's going on with coffee. I'm assuming that because we're seeing a lot of tropical storms and a lot of tsunamis, I mean, we're seeing all kinds of stuff, man, typhoons, all over the world, that the global coffee production line has been disrupted to some extent. That could be the only reason why I'm looking at coffee right now and seeing the rise and the spike that I'm looking at in coffee. Coffee right now, folks, is up 3.17% increase on the day. 3.17% increase on the goddamn day. And the reason I'm speculating that we're having a potential break in production when it comes to coffee, and it could be all these damn storms. I mean, I don't know if you've been looking at all these massive storms that are happening, not just Florence and what's in Atlantic. Take a look at what's in the Pacific. Take a look at what's down south. I mean, the Asian community had just dealt with a huge typhoon. I mean, it's all over the world. And you know as well as I, coffee, it's produced all over the world. And it seems to me that coffee could be creeping on a come up when it comes to price, because remember, the Fed just increased our interest rates 2 to 2.25%. That means our dollar is valuable. That's why most of the commodities I just read off here are in the red. But for some reason, we've got coffee up 3.17%, and that's why I'm speculating it is something to do with the weather. And take a look. Take a look at sugar. Take a look if you want sugar for your coffee. Sugar! It is up 2.66% increase. Good God. Take that. Anyway, orange juice, it is also up 0.51%. Cotton, it is down 1.74%. Take a look at that cotton price, okay? I mean, we've been talking nothing but negative. I'm talking negative decreases in percentages on cotton. But as we get colder in the country, we start seeing, and I'm just giving you guys a heads up, we see an increase in cotton commodities because why? People need jackets. People need blankets. People need things that are made with cotton because it's cold out there. Just trying to plant seeds, baby. Just letting everybody know. Anyway, lumber is down, baby. Did you see lumber today? down 4.17%. And the reason we're seeing lumber down is because of the interest rates. Once again, if you're going to go and get a house now, it ain't the old days where you can get a house for like 4% interest or 3% interest. It ain't like that anymore, man. Now you're going to have to pay, what is it now, 6%, 7%, something like that, depending on your credit. So you're not going to have too many people purchasing homes, unfortunately, because of the high interest rates, and that is reflected in the lumber right now. Take a look at lumber. It is down 4.17% decrease, man, for lumber. 4.17% decrease. Good God. Well, take a look at rubber. It seems like everybody's using prophylactics, I guess. Rubber is up 1.19% increase on the day for rubber, and ethanol is down 0.99%. Good God. Give me my cola. Anyway, let's get to the livestock, shall we? Now, live cattle. I'm glad live cattle has been steadying off. We're headed into the holidays, so we should see a little bit of an increase when it comes to live cattle. You know, everybody around the holiday time likes those rib roasts. I know I do. And I think that because we're living in Trump America, people are going to want to be a little extravagant this holiday season. The live cattle has been rather reasonable in price, and I think that we could see an increase in steak. I could be wrong, though. I think is everybody turning into a vegan or a vegetarian? I mean, look, I want you vegans to realize something. That being vegan is not a lifestyle, man. You're not meant to eat exclusively just fruits and vegetables for your entire life. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that if you've done something bad and your body's starting to tell you that, hey, you've done this too long, idiot, all right, it's starting to affect us inside you here, inside. Well, then you utilize veganism as a way to detox. Because I'm not going to lie to you, I've been eating nothing but fruits and vegetables for the past couple of days, although I'm not going to eliminate animal fats, okay? So I still had a steak at the end of it all. I'm just not I'm having one steak a day as opposed to 3 steaks, all right? But I am intaking more fruits and vegetables, and I feel great. I'm starting to feel very, very healthy. I feel good. I'm not trying to say that veganism is the way to go by any means, but it's a detox. It detoxifies your body. I mean, all these vegetables and fruits, they've got nutrients that your body is yearning for. And I can tell, I'm going to be honest with you, every time I make some kind of massive salad or, I cut up some fruit or something, the insides, it's like my insides of my body is like, Ghost, finally you bring some of that down here. Thank you. But the point I'm trying to make is keep cattle prices low, all right? Anyway, live cattle is up 0.23%. Cattle feeder, it is also up 0.27%. And what the hell's going on with lean hog? What the hell is going on with lean hog? Lean hog is up 4.42% increase on the goddamn day. Good God! And don't get a freaking ham bone or Jesus Christ. Anyway, once again, lean hog's up 4.42% increase on the day. And that, my friends, is the markets for your ass, baby, all right? Sorry, I'm having some cola here. Anyway, folks, we are now in the second hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire, all right? If you're listening to the sound of my voice, then you're listening to the political underground. So spread it out there. Spread it out. Spread it around like wildfire. And let them all know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And I love being independent now. Type this in your browser. Add this to your favorites. Add this to your bookmarks. The following, ghost.report. All right, it's as simple as that. That's all you got to do. Ghost.report is the official home of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. It's that damn simple. And by the way, if you ever miss a live broadcast, we have the 24-hour live stream going on. And if I'm not live, then the previous show is streamed 24/7 live. Or you can go to the archive. Or you can go to the archive at Ghost.report and listen to any show that we have had and taken place since, 560? I think it's 560, episode 560. Anyway, folks, I do want to say, everybody who's listening, please follow me on my only social media representation on the internet today. And that, of course, folks, is on Gab. If you don't have a Gab account, then go ahead and get yourself one. And once you do, follow me under the name Politics Ghost, all right? Follow me there under the name Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores. And I am verified, folks, so Politics Ghost is verified. All right, and once you follow me on there, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, all right, and I'm sure most people are, I'm going to be in the True Capitalist Radio broadcast after the broadcast, kicking it with the people in there, man. It's a Baller Friday, so I'm going to be kicking it in there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be drinking because, I'm trying to get the health back up to par, to say the least. But if you want to come kick back with us tonight, chill with us, talk about whatever, do some internet tomfoolery, then come on down. All you've got to do is go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, and click the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, private message me on Gab. Private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, and I will private message you back with a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast chat room. It's that damn simple. And before I move on, I definitely want to say what's going on to everybody in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It is a packed chat room tonight, baby. Happy Baller Friday! Woo! Let me go ahead and say cheers. Unfortunately, all I got is a can of cola with a fucking straw out of it, but I want to say cheers to everybody in the inner circle, first and foremost, the True Capitalist Radio chat room, and everybody else who's listening to me throughout the internets and throughout the world. Cheers, baby. Thank you very much for listening to the broadcast. We really appreciate your patronage. Whether you like me, whether you hate me, we really appreciate you listening. And don't forget to spread this show link around like wildfire, baby. We independent. We ain't involved with any of those Silicon Valley oligarch social media, so spread it around. Anyway, cheers, baby. Cheers. I wish it was beer, but I got to give it up. I'm sorry. I got to do it. I got to do it. I love Mrs. Ghost. I want to see her for as long as I can, so I got to do it, all right? Anyway, folks, let's go ahead and let's give some shout-outs to the chat room. Let's give some shout-outs to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. What's going on to the God of Rage, man? How you doing? We got Stagio, Reverend Ralph, what up, man? Pepe the Frog in the house, Nat in the place, Nason in the house. We got Meadowform, we got Man Bear Pig, Insane Energy, Ice Cap, Hoodie, what up, man? We got Holden Capitalist, Herb Capitalist, Hans Uberlanda. We got Hambone Capitalist in the house, Great Gains, Funky Butt Lovin', Death the Bureaucrats, Brodog. What's going on to BP? How you doing, man? We've got Big Brain Shekels, Andrew Smith, a Cotton. I hope I said that pronounced that appropriately. And of course, Aesthetic. What's up to Curly McWhirly? What's up to everybody else who I didn't mention in here? Thank you for chilling in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, man. I'm telling you, I really do appreciate, especially the True Capitalist Radio chat room, man. They do kick some major ass. I'm telling you that right now. Anyway, folks, now that we have basically went through the whole financial component of the broadcast, let's get right down to the nitty-gritty, which is what? The straight political dope. Now, before I get to the straight political dope, as I was alluding to in the beginning of the broadcast, I was a little jaded on getting up here. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I am not enthused about being on this broadcast, considering what has happened in United States politics this week. All right, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I'm lacking that fervor. I'm lacking that intestinal fortitude, for Christ's sake, because what the kind of political circus that we had this week. So bear in mind that this is the pretense for which I'm broadcasting, all right? So, anyway, let me continue. I can't drink anyway, so it's not like I can do anything else. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the President of the United States, the modern-day George Washington himself. I'm talking about Donald Trump. Now, today, folks, the President postponed, actually he did this yesterday, he postponed the meeting with Rod Rosenstein that was supposed to happen this past Thursday. Remember the infamous meeting with the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein over the allegations that were written in the New York Times that Rod Rosenstein was threatening to wear a wire and trying to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove the president. And according to memos, he not only said this, but went even as far as suggesting that he could recruit cabinet members to do this. Well, anyway, folks, the president has postponed the meeting next week. And if you want my personal opinion, I think that the president is going to do one of two things. If I were the president, I'd have a serious conversation with Rosenstein, because it seems to me, because whoever leaked this memo, or it wasn't even a memo, I guess it was just told to by the New York Times, whoever leaked Rosenstein wanted to wear a wire to record the president, to invoke the 25th Amendment, to remove him from presidency, and gather cabinet members to back him up. Whoever leaked this obviously is trying to make Rosenstein out to be the fall guy in this whole grand conspiracy that we've all been discussing and have been getting pieces of throughout the past fucking year at this point, throughout the past year. Now, what I'm gathering from the people I know in the Beltway and whatnot, what I'm gathering is Trump is going to attempt to utilize Rod Rosenstein as a means of utilizing him in his position to bring down everybody that were attempting to bring down Trump. Now, why would Rod Rosenstein do this? Because Rod Rosenstein is being put as the fall guy. I mean, who leaked that memo that Rosenstein wanted to tape the president on? Who did? It was McCabe. Andrew McCabe, you know, the disgraced FBI deputy director, Andrew McCabe. You know, the wife that ran for office and got all these hundreds of thousands of dollars from Terry McAuliffe. You know, Terry McAuliffe was one of the biggest Democratic fundraiser in the 90s, and that's why he shoved up the Clintons' ass. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, this goes so deep, and this is probably what's going to happen. He's going to approach Rosenstein and say, hey, look, I know what's going on. I know that you wanted to take me down. I'm not taking it personal. But somebody's got to go down for this. And if you want to go down because they're putting all the evidence, because why did Andrew McCabe, the fired deputy director of the FBI, why did he put down on a memo that Rod Rosenstein said such a thing? Why do you think he said it? Because he wanted to document it like a good bureaucrat. Every good bureaucrat documents everything. And I think the president is going to approach Rosenstein and said, hey, look, they're pointing it at you. They're trying to make you the fall guy, so why don't you use your position right now to take these people down? And, oh, yeah, Rosenstein, why don't you eliminate this stupid, dumb Robert Mueller special investigation? And either Rosenstein will stay on and he will do the wishes of the president, or he's going to resign. Those are the only two options I see for Rod Rosenstein, because if he stays, you've already got Congress wanting to come bring this guy in under oath and testify, and the only way that's going to happen, that's not going to happen, is if he resigns or if he does the president's bidding. So Rod Rosenstein, because I want to be honest with you, I think Rod Rosenstein, just look at the guy. I mean, look at it. This guy isn't a mastermind of any kind of government coup. He's a dumb, litigious, bureaucratic dork. You know, I mean, he knows the law. He knows, you know, how to be litigious. You know, and I think he got caught up in a situation where, you know, he may or may not have been a part of something that may have got him a little excited in the pants. And unfortunately now, whatever he did to contribute to this conspiracy, it's coming back to haunt him. And, you know, it is politics, so this is what I think that the president is going to do. So we shall see what happens to Rod Rosenstein, but if he does stay on, if Rod Rosenstein does stay on as the Deputy Attorney General, it's because now there's an understanding between the President and Rosenstein's going to bring down the true culprits, or at least those culprits that are trying to bring him down, which will eventually probably blow and put a spotlight on this whole thing. Like blow up and put a spotlight on this whole damn thing. So we shall see what happens with the Rod Rosenstein President Trump meeting next week. Like I said, I'd love to be a fly on the wall on that one. Anyway, let's get to some more president news, folks. Today, the president signs, and look, I'm very disappointed in this, but the president is politically binded by the Republican Party at this point. I mean, these midterms, these Republicans are so scared. They're unwilling to fucking stand up to the Democrats in any regard. I mean, did you hear how much this spending bill that the president signed into law? Did you hear how much this spending bill was? This spending bill is $854 billion that the president signed today. $854 billion the president signed. And look, that spending bill that he signed, I mean, he had to sign it here soon enough because there was a deadline of November 6th. So to not make the spending bill any kind of an issue for the midterms, because that's what these Republicans are so fucking scared of, they forced the president to once again sign a bill with no wall, no immigration reform, nothing. $854 billion spending bill, and it only keeps the government open till when? Till when? December 7th. Oh, my God. I mean, come on, man. Come on. That's it. That's all this $854 billion spending bill does. It only keeps the damn government open until December 7th. And then we're going to be doing this all over again. We're going to be doing this all over again, and this is why I continue to say that the 2018 midterms are that damn important. We cannot allow the Democrats to win. Do you understand? Do you understand what's at stake here? I mean, come on, wake up, folks. And that's why everybody who's listening to the sound of my voice, all right? I mean, if you could do anything, just the most minor thing, just spread this show around like wildfire so people can get the straight political dope in their fucking faces like a fucking slap. Because nobody is telling people this. Did y'all even hear about this in the mainstream media? Maybe in a little small footnote. $854 billion spending bill just to keep the government open until December 7th. Oh, God. I mean, I don't know what to say. Now, don't get me wrong. They have put a lot of money into our military. A lot of this money is going into the military, and we're going to talk about why when we get to the international relations component of this broadcast. But still, man, $854 billion? Who's getting this money? Besides the military, who's getting this money, man? And it only funds the government until December 7th, man? What's wrong with this picture? Seriously, what's wrong with this picture? Anyway, let me move on. It wasn't a good day for the president today. I'm going to be honest. I'm a pro-president guy, but it wasn't good. You could tell the Republican Party had him, you know, by the arm, if you will, and he had to do a lot of things that he didn't want to do. I know the president did not want to sign this $854 billion spending bill, but what is he going to do? Is he going to shut the government down and give the Democrats even more fodder than they already have with this Kavanaugh confirmation circus? I mean, you can't do it. It's sad. It sucks. Right before a midterm as well, man. This is unfortunate, disgusting politics, what you're witnessing right here. Anyway, folks, let me move on. Look, unfortunately, we now have a situation with this Supreme Court nominee, Brett Kavanaugh. We have a very serious situation now. Now, there was an unfortunate situation that happened during the Senate Judiciary Committee in which Jeff Flake, which I don't even understand why Jeff Flake's vote even matters. This idiot isn't even running for re-election. But of course, he's Mr. Anti-Trump and he's supposedly Republican. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw, but it was Jeff Flake that has forced the Republicans to give an extra week so that the FBI can conduct an investigation into this Brett Kavanaugh situation. Now, when asked, the president said that he would defer to the Senate Judiciary Committee chairman, Chuck Grassley, to make the call on whether or not to extend this Supreme Court vote another week. And unfortunately, Chuck Grassley and the Republicans capitulated, and now, folks, we had no vote for the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation, and we are here for yet another week. Another week we are going to wait before we get a vote. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, the Republicans should have not have capitulated. Now, the only reason they did, I'll tell you why, folks. As I was alluding to in the beginning of the broadcast, many Americans believed this disingenuous bunch of crap. Okay? I mean, I'm not kidding. I mean, I can't believe that there's this many people that believe this garbage. And yet, the Republicans continue to capitulate. And look, the Republicans aren't stupid. They're not going to capitulate if they don't feel that the political landscape is actually believing this nonsense. Now, the president deferred to the Senate Judiciary Committee, Chuck Grassley, to make the call on whether to extend the another week so that an FBI, an investigation can come into play here. So we shall see what happens, but I'll guarantee you this. There's going to be more people that are going to come out. They're going to say, oh, yeah, Brett Kavanaugh, he gang raped me. I saw him. I mean, they're going to find some. Look at all these women that are coming out. They're all a bunch of liberal kooksters, man. They're all a bunch of liberal kooksters with leftist attachments, with connections to Hillary Clinton. It's pathetic, man. It's pathetic. But because the damn Republicans capitulated, the president had to sign and order the FBI, had to order the FBI to investigate this ridiculous Christine Blasey Ford allegation. And look, let's just go ahead and talk about that since we're already going that direction to begin with. I mean, this Brett Kavanaugh confirmation is a circus, and I want to be honest with you. I said at the beginning of the broadcast, Kavanaugh gave one of the most genuine, heartfelt, emotional speeches, and I can't believe that no one could look at that speech and see an innocent man completely broken on how and why these disgusting allegations are coming out against him. I mean, I could not keep tears out. I couldn't keep tears in my eyes. I mean, tears were rolling out because I could see the hurt and the brokenness of Brett Kavanaugh. This is a conservative, man. You couldn't get a better pedigree of a Supreme Court justice than this man right here. And once again, I don't understand why people aren't upset with these disingenuous, fake, vampire, emotionalist Democrats for sandbagging this whole rape allegation since July. I mean, lest we forget that this dumb broad, Dianne Feinstein, had sat on this anonymous note. Because remember, it started off as an anonymous note. And then, of course, Dianne Feinstein allowed the whole process for Brett Kavanaugh to happen. And then right when the vote was about to happen, this broad pulls out this ace card in the hole. And she or somebody, she's claiming she didn't do it. She's claiming her staff didn't do it, but I think it's a bunch of garbage. Who else would have done it if she was in the possession of this anonymous note, which ended up being Christine Blasey Ford? She ended up leaking it to the press. The press ended up finding out and identifying who the woman was. And this is where we're at from that point on. And folks, we've already accommodated this whole nonsense about, oh, well, we'll hear what she has to say. We'll hear what Christine Blasey Ford has to say. Yeah, you know what? I heard what she's had to say, and it was so disingenuous. I can't believe people believe this broad. I mean, did y'all hear Blasey Ford? She was talking like a little child. Did you hear her responses? Yeah, no, She was acting like a little child, which is weird psychologically anyway, considering that this woman is a doctor in psychology. Can you believe this? Blasey Ford is a doctor. If you met her, you'd have to call this kookster leftist bitch doctor. She was pretending and sounding like a little girl, and did you see how often she was smiling? Oh, my God. I mean, did you see how often Blasey Ford was smiling? She was basking in the spotlight. She was loving the attention. And by God, not only was she basking in the spotlight and loving the attention, she's getting a lot of money, folks. Yeah. I've read, folks, that her GoFundMe accounts that she has out here have raised over $700,000. Can you believe that? Huh? Oh, you're damn right! This is what this shit's all about, and I can't believe the Republicans they've even capitulated this far! I can't believe they've capitulated this far, for Christ's sake, man! This woman, I mean, can you believe that the Democrats and even the Republicans are playing this game with this stupid, dumb, disgusting kookster? That, oh, she's so brave, and oh my God, she's so genuine, and she's a credible person, and good God, man. I mean, and look, let's just be honest here, okay? Let's just be honest here. Let's just say that Brett Kavanaugh did do what she alleges that he did. All she got was a little grinded on, all right? She just got a little grinded on, for Christ's sake. I mean, women sleep with men because they think they have money. And when they don't have money, what do women do? They just cough it up to a mulligan, like, I shouldn't have had sex with that loser. I mean, that's enough of this. I can't stand this. I mean, how far are we going to go back in people's lives? Are we going to take any allegation that a woman says verbatim? I mean, that's what this precedent is being set right before our eyes. The precedent that's being set right before our eyes is that if a woman says that she was sexually abused, that she is supposed to be automatically believed no matter what. That's the precedent that's being set. Throw out due process. Throw out the idea of innocent until proven guilty. No. If a woman makes an accusation on you and she suggests that you sexually abused her, she's automatically to be believed. This is where we're at this point, man. And look, folks, I'm going to be honest with you. If you looked at the testimony yesterday with Brett Kavanaugh, this man was a straight arrow. This man admitted under oath that he was a virgin not only during high school, but like a decade after high school, for fuck's sake, man. Oh, God. I mean, this guy's a true conservative. And if the damn Democrats can moralize, because this is what they're doing, they're out-moralizing conservatives. If they can out-moralize a conservative in this capacity, then what precedent does this set, man? I can't believe that this is happening. I feel sorry for Brett Kavanaugh. I feel sorry for his wife, his children. This poor bastard had to go through and literally relive and recant parts of his life. I mean, did you all see the introductory speech that this man gave? I mean, the guy, he was just... It was one of the most emotional things I've ever seen. And it seems to me like those Democrats that were up there watching this man break down were probably underneath the table pleasuring themselves, because that's how fucking sick these Democrats are. Because even after that speech, they still went after Brett Kavanaugh. They still went after him as if he was some evil man. You couldn't get any more of a conservative than this man. Do you understand that? Anyway, folks, I'm going to be completely honest with you, man. This is separating men and women in this country. This is separating men and women from this country, and if you women think that you're going to get ahead by doing things like this, you've got another thing coming. I mean, me as an employer, do I really want to hire a woman anymore because of the liability that this woman can have, whether it's with me, whether it's with another employee? I mean, I don't even want this to go this direction. So, I mean, I'm just saying, you women, by doing all this and claiming that, being a little grinded on is the equivalent of rape, that you women are literally putting yourselves in your own subjugation. Because I'm going to be honest with you, as an employer, I am not looking for any women as employees. And the reason is because this type of liability. I mean, and listen, you don't think that a woman's scorn will make it very easy for her to just go ahead and make up claims just to punish you? That's what women do all the time. Women do that all the time. Why do you think Dianne Feinstein held on to this supposed note and then at the last minute brought it out and politicized rape? I'm telling you, folks, I feel bad for Brett Kavanaugh, and I can't believe that people believe this Christine Blasey Ford. This woman was smiling. This woman was talking like a little brat girl. You couldn't... She did not look like somebody who was dealing with a grinding session that she had when she was 15. I mean, did you see the amount of miles this woman had on her face? All right, did you see? I mean, I guarantee you that this woman has been probably used and abused in more ways than one sexually, considering that she's a California professor and she's a psychologist. I can't believe this, and I can't believe people are believing this, and it all comes down to men and women, folks. That's what it comes down to. Women, unfortunately, right now in modern-day America, they believe that they need to be all one, that we're woman. Hear me roar. I'm a woman, and I think that anything a woman says, does, is better than man. I mean, right now, go out to a public arena and say men are better than women. You would have men come out and kick your ass out of the fucking place. Go into any place and say women are better than men, you're going to get a fucking round of applause. Yay! Yay! That's what you'll get! This is the America that we're living in, man! This is the America! And this is the precedent that's being set, man. This is it in this country. That's why I'm telling all you young gentlemen that are listening to the sound of my voice and that are scared. I don't blame you now. I don't blame you young gentlemen for being scared to being left alone with a woman, left alone with a girl in the same room. I don't blame you anymore. These women now can do anything for any reason. And let's just say you're a nice guy, but you are an obstacle or a potential springboard to get attention or to gain power, then you are going to be sacrificed for that, man. I feel so bad for Brett Kavanaugh. I feel so bad. And what do you women think that you're going to accomplish by doing this? I mean, aside from businesses not wanting to hire you women because you're potential liabilities when it comes to this sexual crap. All right, because now what is sexual harassment anymore? I'm not even kidding. Anything can be considered sexual harassment or sexual abuse. I'm not even kidding. Even if there is no sexual abuse. I mean, do y'all remember Humongous? Y'all remember that viral guy, Humongous? I mean, we all thought of it as a joke back in 2016. I wonder if now, in modern-day America, would that be considered sexual harassment? I mean, we all thought it was a joke. These women, this fucking liberal fucking political perspective, they're all taking it serious. I mean, we're the men. You know, we're the goddamn men in this country, for Christ's sake, man. We're the pair of cock and balls in this country that are saying, hey, women, hold your ass. If you take a look, instead of being so anesthetized with America women, why don't you take a look outside the country and take a look at how many women are having their clitorises cut off because they don't, or I should say the Muslims, because they're the ones that are doing it. They cut clitorises off so they don't have any sexual gratification so they can be good subjugated subjects. Why do you think Muslim women are okay with wearing the beekeeper suit? Why do you think that they're okay with the burqa, with the hijab? Because they don't have sexual gratification anymore, ladies. And moreover, what do you think will happen if there's no more American men? You think that you're going to take state power of the United States? Then what? Do you think that your bull-nosed bull dykes out here who can barely get in and out of their own car, you think they're going to be enough manpower, or I should say woman power or it power, whatever it is, to be able to fend off wild Yehudis by the billions? To fend off Chinese who, look, I don't know if you ladies know this, you dumb, stupid imbeciles, but China has been purposely manipulating its population so that there is 4 to 5 men to every 1 woman. And this was done during their one-child policy. So you don't think that these Chinese soldiers, once they come in and pillage and plunder whatever they want, they're going to go right after the women? I mean, I can go on, and yet you women think that because, I don't know what you think. I don't know what you think. But the end goal of all this, women, is that you, even if you do take control of this entire country, you're going to be overthrown by a male-dominated civilization. And that's why I keep suggesting, folks, that maybe women really want to be physically thrown back into submission. Because why else would feminists and liberals and Democrats, who are supposed to be all for women power, I mean, especially right now during this Brett Kavanaugh circus, we're supposed to be treating every fucking woman like a delicate little flower, all right? I mean, why is it that these women want to side with Islam? Why do they side with Islam? Why do they side with Islam? I'm asking you this because, folks, Islam believes in subjugating their women, and it's written in their dogma. And not only to subjugate them, but to put them in their fucking place. To put them in their place, and if they don't have their place, if they want to be rebellious, you chop their heads off or stone them. Do you understand? You kill them. That's what they do in Islam. That's what they do in Islam, ladies. I know you ladies in America are so used to us American men protecting you from these savages. I know that you ladies in America use and abuse the fact that American men's blood bled so that we can have this civility that you can ruin. But I'm telling you this right now, women, without the United States men, you would be subjugated in a hell of a lot worse way than you think that you're being subjugated now. And how dare you use the fact that men in this country wanted a civil society, and how dare you use that civil society against us because, the patriarchy, and all this other feminist rhetoric. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. You women would be fucking forced into burqas if it wasn't for American men protecting you. You would be forced into fucking marriages with fucking 9 or 10 other women if it wasn't for American men protecting you. You women would be gang raped by Chinese infantry or whoever in the international community if American men weren't protecting you. And this is how you repay American men, ladies? Well, that's why I'm advocating every young man out there, Import your women, man. Import your women. And look, don't turn to the LGBTQ. All right? I mean, that's what the leftists want. And that's another thing. The LGBTQ. I mean, what a joke. What a fucking joke. I'm tired of the LGBTQ. Because, folks, you know what that means when you're LGBTQ? It means that you're trying to define your whole social outlook, your whole definition of you as a human being, based on how you like to fuck. You're basing your whole definition of you, who you are as a human being, on how you like to fuck. And you want everybody to identify you with this. Don't you understand? That's ridiculous! That's ridiculous! You should not be put on any kind of a pedestal because you take cock in the ass or you like to muff dive. Do you understand that anybody can do that, asshole? That you're not special. You're not a special person because you can suck on a cock. You're not special because you take, you're like your prostate massage with a fucking meat bag. There's nothing special about you diving on some kind of a fucking muff. There's nothing special about you pretending that, hey, look at me, I'm a woman, but I am a man, I'm a female to male transgendered. I'm telling you, man. I'm tired. I think we need to go back to conservatism at this point. I'm not even kidding around, man. I mean, this is good versus evil out here. This is good versus evil. And people defining themselves because I'm a woman. Look at me. I got a pussy. I got a pussy hat. I got a pussy costume. This pussy grabs back. Do you understand that women are now equating themselves on what they're trying to steer themselves away from? I mean, all throughout the Million Woman March, all I saw was pussy hats and pussy costumes and pussy this and pussy that. Aren't the women trying to stop themselves from being used as sexual objects? But no, you're doing the same thing as the LGBTQ women. All right? And this is a leftist game. This is a leftist scam. And it's time for you women to be fucking slapped back into reality. And if you women don't want to get slapped into reality, well, then you stay by yourselves. You stay alone in the miserable fat pieces of protoplasm that you all have become and think that you're actually having a good life when you're miserable, alone, and the friends that you think that you have aren't even your fucking friends. I'm not even kidding around. I'm sick of this crap. Without American men, you women would be plundered and pillaged and raped. I mean, take a look at the world, ladies. All right? Most of the world is oppressive against women. Most of the world puts women in their place. Fucking dumb broads. And yet you people are in a civil society that respects women, and that's just not good enough for you dumb broads, isn't it? Huh? Jesus Christ, man. I'm sorry. Look, I'm so sorry that there may be some of you ladies out there that are listening and are saying, Ghost, I'm not like that. Oh, yeah? Why don't you take a look at the majority of your fellow sisterhood out here? Huh? Why don't you take the majority of the rest of your sisterhood out here, for Christ's sake? I'm telling you, each and every one of you women that are out here bitching and moaning in modern American civilization need to be slapped back in the fucking kitchen. And I don't give a shit what anybody says. I don't give a shit if that's controversial. I don't give a shit if that gets me flack. I don't care! Fucking stupid broads. That's why you're all alone. That's why you're all miserable. That's why you're getting fat. That's why nobody wants you. You're fucking miserable. You're pathetic. And meanwhile, let's go ahead and talk about the world, since we're talking here. Since we're fucking talking about women. Since we're talking about women being ungrateful in America. Even though they're a protected class in this fucking country. They are a protected class in this fucking country, for Christ's sake. I was talking about this earlier today. Earlier in the broadcast, huh? In Iraq, remember, how much did we spend in the Middle East? What, fucking $7 trillion or some shit in the Middle East we spent? in blood, whatever the fuck it was trillions of dollars that we spent in the Middle East to supposedly liberate Iraq and to make them a democracy. Do y'all remember that? That was the premise for why we went to war, right? Iraq's got weapons of mass destruction, and we got a nation build, and we got to do this and that. Look at what Iraq is today. It is a fucking Sharia law playground, you fucking idiots. Fucking, I don't know how many men we lost in Iraq. And those that we didn't lose in Iraq, folks, I'm gonna tell you, I talk to these men. I talk to them. All right? I know people who served in Iraq. And you know what they tell me, folks? The post-traumatic stress that these men are going through, it isn't because of war. They could have been killers out here to an enemy of America. But when they went into Iraq, they were used as a militarized police state against the people. They would go in. They would bum rush people's houses. They would put people at gunpoint. And some of these assholes would take it a little too serious because of the IEDs and all the shit that was happening all over the place. And they would do some unfortunate incidents in this police state, military type of fucking operation that they were having our troops conducted in Iraq. They weren't fighting an enemy. They were out there conducting a militarized police state on the people of Iraq. There was no fucking strategy on how to build this country from the bottom up. It was a fucking terror war zone. That's why our troops are getting post-traumatic stress, because they can't believe that they were ordered to do what the fuck they did in Iraq. But regardless, all those men that got post-traumatic stress because of the Iraq war, all those men that we lost, American men that we lost in the Iraq war, take a look at what's happening in Iraq. Okay, ladies? All right? Iraqi fashion blogger and Instagram model by the name of Tara Ferez, she was only 22 years old, was shot dead in the streets of Baghdad because of Sharia law fanaticism. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying, ladies? This is Iraq. This is the country that we spent, I don't know how much money and how many lives we lost. And look at what's happening there. And if you take a look at Tara Ferez, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this poor woman's name, but if you take a look at Tara Ferez's Instagram, let me go ahead and repost it if you haven't. Take a look at my gab if you want to see it. Tara Ferez, she wasn't that provocative. She wasn't that provocative at all. She wasn't like you Instagram models in America that are basically showing your asshole on an Instagram photo. I'm not even kidding. I mean, she was rather conservative in the Western sense. But that's not what they thought over there in Iraq. And guess what? They saw her in Iraq and they killed her dead. And guess what? Nobody saw anything. Nobody saw anything, nobody's saying anything, and as a result, this is another unsolved murder, because most people in Iraq at this point, folks, believe in this Sharia bullshit. All right? They don't want what's happening to America. They don't want it. And I don't blame them, for Christ's sake, man. And you see, you women think that if you all took control of the world, that you would be able to just do what you're doing here in America on a global scale. That's not the case. That is absolutely not the case. I mean, I can't believe you women just can't understand that you are in a lucky position in Western civilization. And I'm not just talking about America. I'm talking Western civilization. You notice that only westernized countries allow women to be leaders. Or Western-like countries, or Western-friendly countries. And once they put women leaders, what happens? It fucks up. It fucks up the country. It fucks up the country. I mean, take a look. I read that Argentina right now is in such dire straits that they're going out without a lot of stuff. Excuse me. I mean, they're going without being able to go on vacations like they used to, and there shouldn't be any reason. Argentina produces a lot of shit. But the reason Argentina is in a bad economic situation is because of their previous female head of state. And if you take a look at that head of state, she tried to claim there at the end that she hit her head on the wall and was half kookster so that she wouldn't be prosecuted for fucking desecrating the goddamn country of Argentina. Take a look at Brazil. Brazil was on its way up and being some kind of a superpower within the South American region, of course. I'm not talking about the world, because of their oil reserves off of their coasts. But instead of utilizing the funds that were being used offshore drilling, instead of using the funds to make Brazil better, you had the woman who was in charge. What was her fucking name? Rousseff? Whatever the hell her name was. She and her socialist or communist or whatever the hell she was, they were all pocketing the money. They were pocketing the money. And that's why Brazil right now is in dire straits. If you take a look at Gab, there are so many Brazilians on Gab right now because they're begging America to help them to do something. The communists are taking over right now in Brazil, and they're all over Gab begging America. And who allowed them to take over? Some stupid bitch that was elected as the head of state. I mean, what's another one? Remember the bitch before Moon from South Korea? The broad that was the head of state of South Korea before Moon here? This broad was removed from power. She was impeached because they found out that she wasn't even making her own decisions. That she was forwarding her decisions to the cunt of the tuna fish, or the cult of the tuna fish, excuse me, whatever the hell it's called, some cult. She was going to some cult to make her decisions for her. She wasn't even making her own decisions. And hell, look at Angela Merkel. I mean, I could go on all night. Look at Angela Merkel and what she's done to Germany. Look at fucking dumbass Theresa May. Look at this dumb, stupid broad in New Zealand, for Christ's sake. Oh, you know what? I'm going to be a head of state in New Zealand once she gets elected. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get knocked up now. Now, you know, I'm just the Prime Minister of New Zealand. I'm just going to go ahead and get knocked up. She gets pregnant while she's a fucking Prime Minister. I mean, God damn it, man. You want me to continue? I can continue to go on and on. But I'm telling you, every time a westernized country allows a woman to be in a position of power, they have fucked shit up. They have fucked shit up, man. And how many mulligans are we going to give women at this point? I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so sexist for all those ladies that are listening in out there. How many more mulligans are we going to give women? How many more countries are they going to fuck up? How many more publicly traded companies are they going to run down the tubes? How many more times are we just going to allow this to happen before the regular society, common sense society says, hey, stop, wait, these bitches are fucking shit up. Oh, my God. And did y'all see in the United Nations General Assembly, the media, they were just all swooning over this New Zealand broad who brought her baby. And what was that bitch breastfeeding her baby in the fucking United Nations General Assembly? Did I see that right? The New Zealand Prime Minister. Oh, yeah, you know, I brought my baby. I'm going to put my tit in my baby's mouth, and that's going to be womanhood. Yeah, that's woman power, yes. Jesus Christ, man. Oh, my God. And by the way, there's also another dumb woman leader in Iceland as well. Another dumb woman in Iceland, for Christ's sake. And the only reason I know that, I got a lot of people in Iceland that are saying, hey, Ghost, we got a fucking woman over there that fucking shit up. And how is she fucking shit up? She's, once again, a social justice warrior leftist moron. How many more times are we going to just allow women to screw up? I mean, and when are we going to say, hey, women, okay, look, y'all want to be in charge? Fine. You all protect yourselves. You all go to war. You all go out and fight these Jehudis out here. You go out and fight the Chinese. You go out and fight the Russians. I mean, I'm not even kidding around, man. I'm tired of this shit, man. I'm tired. I mean, these American women would not be putting themselves in this position. They would not be acting this way if they were in any other country that wasn't Western. If they weren't in any other country that wasn't Western. And are y'all going to protect yourselves? Huh? Y'all going to protect yourselves? I mean, look, even he's no longer a general. He is now the Secretary of Defense, General Mattis. Even he says that the jury's still out on whether or not women can be in combat. All right? And you want to know why women can't be in combat? Because that's not what they're used to. You understand? I mean, y'all aren't the Kurds, okay? The Kurds, you can't compare. I hate when women are like, well, yeah, you know, the Kurds, they have a woman battalion. You know, they have a woman-only battalion. Yeah, they have a woman-only battalion. That means that everybody in that fucking battalion is a woman. Is a woman. There's no intermixing between men and women. When the women battalion is commanded to go into the infantry theater of combat, they go as a whole unit as women. There's no intermixing of men and females. And moreover, the Kurds are landless people, man. They've been having to fight ever since the Treaty of Versailles, ever since the fall of the Ottoman Empire. You know, Lawrence of Arabia didn't give them a plot of land because they didn't aid in the Turkish takedown of the Ottoman Empire. So they've been having to fight, and they've been having to fight ever since. So because the Kurds are a landless people and they're limited in their population, they're forced to use women in combat. They're not out here like you stupid broads in America trying to prove something to I don't know who the fuck who. No, I can do anything a man can do. I can do anything a man can do. Hear me roar, I am woman. Anyway, look, I'm sorry for going off keister. I'm sorry for sounding like some kind of a misogynist or whatever the hell you're going to call me. I don't really care at this point, all right? You women have humiliated yourselves in all of Western civilization, and that's why I told everybody at the beginning of the broadcast, name me one thing that women have done that has progressed human civilization. You can't name one. You can't name one. You can't fucking name one. All they've done is fuck shit up. That's why they need to go back in the fucking kitchen and they need to raise the family. That's the natural state of humanity. There is an empirical precedent set for fucking thousands of years for this shit. But no, the patriarchy, you don't understand, goes to patriarchy. Now, fuck you and the patriarchy, you stupid broad. But hey, keep it up, broads, okay? Keep it up. We'll end up like Iraq. Is that what you want to end up, like Iraq? Huh? You want to end up like Germany right now? Stupid broads. Once again, this poor Iraqi fashion blogger and Instagram model, she had 2.7 million followers. That's how known she was within the Middle Eastern culture of the social media world, okay? 2.7 million followers, okay? And she was shot dead in the streets. She was shot dead in the streets in Baghdad because she was a model. She was too Western. I mean, how come you women aren't out here celebrating the life of this poor woman, Tara Ferez? I mean, this is a woman who died trying to be like you women in America, but you don't give a shit. You don't care about fucking sisterhood. You women are evil, man. I'm not joking. Look, I'm not saying that men can't be evil, but it's only women who do the most evil, disgusting, despicable things for no fucking reason. You know? No fucking reason. I mean, remember that one broad in Texas? I forgot her name because I don't even want to remember her name, but she drowned her 5 kids in the bathtub Okay, she drowned her fucking 5 kids in the bathtub, claimed it was postpartum depression. They sent her to the loony bin, and I think she's out. Isn't that broad out now? That broad's out in the street. Now they just got to say, oh, it's post-traumatic stress, or no, postpartum depression. Postpartum depression. I mean, remember Susan Smith? I think I talked about it on the last broadcast. That woman, she purposely drove her car into the river. While watching the car go under, her kids were crying for her in the car while the car was going down. She just watched it go down. Watched it go down, and then claimed on the mainstream national media that it was a black guy that took her car and carjacked her and had her children. Yeah, Andrea Yates was the broad who drowned her 5 kids in her bathtub and claimed that, postpartum depression, and she's out. I mean, she went to the loony bin for a little bit, and she's out. That's why I keep telling you folks, man, women are a protected class. Every fucking year during May time, you're going to start seeing the proverbial, oops, I left my kid in the car routine. And this is another mulligan that we keep giving these bitches. You know, oops, I left my kid in the car, now my kid's dead. Oh, I'm going to start crying and being hysterical, and I'm not going to be charged with the kid's murder. You know, that we have that every fucking year. Women get away with that every fucking year. Oops, I left my kid in the car. Oh my God, I can't believe, even though these women don't forget their purses, they don't forget their fucking cell phones, I could imagine, but oh, I forgot my kid in my car. Oh God. I'm serious, folks. I'm tired. I'm tired of this stuff. I mean, I'm tired. These women are sick, and westernized women have gone mad, and somebody's got to say it, man. Somebody's got to say it. And if you're a young chap that's like, Ghost, what am I supposed to do, man? I'm a man. I don't want to turn into a homo. I don't blame you, okay? I don't blame you. The point I'm trying to make is that if you want a family, you want children, you're going to have to import the woman. You're going to have to import her. I'm sorry. These American women they're sick. They've already been fucked with. They've been deflowered. It's not even worth it. And even if you do think it's worth it, let's say you get a nice relationship in America. Let's say you're young. Let's say you're a young college guy. You gotta, hey, Ghost, what are you talking about, man? I got a girlfriend right here. She loves me. We're in college. We're doing great together, Ghost. What are you talking about? Yeah, and then you decide to leave her for whatever reason, whether it's because you don't want to be with her anymore, you want to go with another woman, or you don't want to be tied down, whatever the case might be. You don't think that scorned woman is going to ever forget that you left her? The scorned women never forget. And this fucking Kavanaugh situation should prove to you all that now women as far back as 36 years, they can make claims that you did something and they're going to be believed. That's the kind of America that we're living in, folks. Meanwhile, you've got Iraqi fashion blogger Instagram models being shot dead in the middle of Baghdad just trying to emulate Western women. And yet, do any Western women bat an eye at women that are being persecuted and murdered and oppressed all over the world? No. No, they don't. They just care about themselves. I just care about me, damn it. I just care about me. Well, fuck you. How you like that, broads? How about sit there, shut your mouth, go back in the kitchen, get acquainted with some appliances and some cleaning products, and make yourself fucking useful! Christ! Ugh, give me my freaking cola. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Look, I'm going to move on. Okay, I'm going to move on, but I'm going to be honest with you, folks. I am pretty jaded about the future. I'm jaded, and I can't believe that we don't have enough men out here that'll tell these young men that, look, if this is the way these women want to play it, well, then import a woman, all right? And look, there's women in the world out there that want a husband, that want a family, that don't believe in being a whore. I'm serious. They're out there. They'll be appreciative. You got to find them, though, man. And look, finding a mate isn't easy. And look, it got a lot harder with these stupid, dumb Western women in America and everywhere else. So I feel bad for these young men. I'm not even kidding, man. I feel bad, for Christ's sake. Anyway, we're now in the third and final hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, all right? And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything else, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas, U.S. time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And once again, I love being independent now. Add this to your bookmarks, add this to your favorites. The following, Ghost.report, all right? Ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Make sure to spread it around like wildfire, all right? Make sure to spread it around like wildfire. And by the way, everybody, follow me on my only social media representation on the internet today, and that's on Gab, folks. All right, you can follow me on Gab under the name Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow on Gab. And once again, I do want to say what's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. What's going on, baby? What's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room? I'm going to be kicking it in the chat room right after the broadcast. If you want to come along, if you want to come on down with us, let me know. I know we've got people signing up as we speak. I will give you all a link to the True Capitalist Radio chat room right after the show. So bear with me if you're waiting for a link. I know there's a lot of people signing up, but if you want to sign up to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, then all you've got to do is the following, okay? Go to my Gab account right now. Go to my Gab account, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, and click the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, and I will private message you back with a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. So if you're waiting for a link and you're listening to the broadcast, bear with me. I will send you a link right after this broadcast is done, baby, all right? And one more thing, folks. I do want to say thanks to everybody who is sending a little bit of something into the cryptocurrency wishing well. It really does help the continuity of the show, to say the least. We have had one person hook it up with about 50 quantum, and I'm sending that person some production notes, so I thank you very much. Now, once again, look, I know I said, I think I said $40 in crypto. Look, we'll do $25 in crypto. If anybody does $25 in crypto, in donations to the cryptocurrency wishing well at ghost.report, I will go ahead and send some production notes. And to the guy, I got you, man. To the guy who sent 50 quantum, I got you, man. We're going to hook you up this weekend. And I'm also going to hook up everybody else who wanted a newsletter. There was only like 5 or 6 people, so we're going to cancel that idea, but I'm still going to send something to those folks for wanting to participate. But once again, what I'm going to do, folks, to thank everybody who is sending something into the cryptocurrency wishing well at ghost.report, I'm going to send these production notes for anyone who, puts in $25 or more into the cryptocurrency wishing well, all right? And that's while it lasts, because I don't have too many of these. I think I made about 60 shows, 70 shows or something, all right? But I've got the guy who sent 50 in cryptocurrency, or in quantum. This brother sent 50 quantum to the quantum wallet, baby. Cheers to you. And once again, $25. You go to the cryptocurrency wishing well right now. You see all those digital wallets, $25 in anything. Handwritten production notes. And you'll be able to have my chicken scratch. But hey, they were real notes, man. Real production notes for the show, baby. History making right there. Anyway, now that we got that all out of the way, let's continue on. Let's get into the international relations component of the broadcast. We were talking once again about an Iraqi fashion blogger, Tara Faraz, 22 years old, shot in the streets of Baghdad because of fanaticism of Sharia law. And I think we were talking about how the American women are unappreciative. They are unappreciative when it comes to what is really happening in the international community, since they are sheltered in the United States. But let's talk a little bit about Iran, folks. Now, we all know that Iran is in a weird situation, okay? Iran is in a very weird situation because, as I've stated, even going back as far as 2017, I said on this broadcast that the new foreign policy of the United States under Trump was to pit Saudi Arabia against Iran in a conflict that will engulf the Middle East. Now, as days go by, we are getting closer and closer to that. We all talked about last Saturday when the Iranian military parade got hit up by gunmen in the country of Iran. Iran knows now that potential conflict is waiting, so they are trying to delve out threats now. That's all Iran knows how to do. They're just delving out threats. In the latest threat, Iran warned Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates to, quote, respect red lines or face retaliation. What does that mean, right? What do you think Iran means by respect red lines or face retaliation? What do you think that means? I think the red line means the attack that they had this past Saturday on their military parade, which, of course, happened in the same city, which is their major oil port. All right? I mean, their major oil production field, I should say, not their port. Their major oil production field. So even though Iran may be trying to do some back-channel negotiating with the UK, Germany, France, the EU, Russia, and China to try to sell their oil, this past Saturday's attack on this Iranian military parade shows Iran that their enemies are so close that not only can they hit their own military parade, but they are in the city that houses their biggest their biggest oil field. So if you want my opinion, and I think this is possibly going to happen very soon, I'm not going to give any timetable on it, but I personally believe that the next target for terrorist attack within Iran is the Iranian oil fields. Because right now, that is their only source of income if they are able to establish a back-channel deal with the nations that I mentioned previous. And I talked about it this past Wednesday that our so-called allies, UK, France, Germany, the EU, they're combining with Russia and China so that they can do deals with Iran. And they are going to be ignoring the United States sanctions, which shows that we really don't have allies in the international community anymore, much like I have always alluded to. I always told you that America under Donald Trump was not only going to be anti-globalist, but the globalists were going to emerge their ugly heads and converge in a multilateral front against the United States, and that's what's happening. Now that's what's happening. Right now, if you want my opinion, Iran is being used as a tool by the globalists. And the motions, in my personal opinion, of World War III-like conflict is highly probable because of this. Now, in my opinion, prior to any kind of World War III conflict, we are going to see a terrorist act on the oil fields of Iran, which will prohibit them from actually making any kind of sustenance in their current economic crisis that they find themselves in today. Because right now, folks, because of the United States sanctions, Iran is in a major economic crisis. I mean, food is not even on the store shelves. Basic necessities is hard to come by. They're having rolling blackouts on a weekly basis. I mean, there's some serious things going on in Iran. Iran right now, in my personal opinion, is ripe for regime change. The problem, what happens in Iran once the government is overthrown? I mean, because if we overthrow Iran right now, then we could be potentially adding to a migrant crisis that's already overflowing into most of Europe. Now, the problem with the United States' strategy when they went into the Middle East post 9/11 was the fact that George W. Bush went into Iraq, and instead of keeping the infrastructure of bureaucratic systems intact in Iraq, for whatever reason, the Bush administration destroyed the foundations of life itself in Iraq and wanted to build it from the ground up. Now, obviously, that was a tremendous disaster, because now not only do we have Sunnis running amok in Iraq, but the Sharia component, which is Iran-based, is also infiltrating the country. I mean, lest we forget, folks, today the U.S. has closed its consulate in Iraq, citing threats from Iran. All right, citing threats from Iran. So Iran is already making threats that they're going to make a move on our consulate in Iraq. So much for going into Iraq, huh, folks? How come we've forgotten about that? The same people that are so-called liberals today in America now champion George W. Bush, the man who caused all this disorder in the Middle East. So, in my personal opinion, folks, the motions of World War III-like conflict are highly probable. And for whatever reason, the UK, Germany, France, the EU, Russia, and China, for whatever reason, they want to continue to do business with Iraq. They want to defy U.S. sanctions. They don't really care. And they're going to continue to do business. And they're going to do business with them under a new payment system, not the U.S. petrodollar, which is even more of a slap in the face to the United States. I mean, why are we protecting Europe if this is how Europe is going to repay the United States? I mean, lest we forget, folks, what did we do to Europe other than ask them to pay their fair share in NATO? And moreover, to renegotiate trade deals? Huh? I mean, I'm not joking. I mean, what is it? What did the United States do for these so-called allies of ours to completely slap us in the mouth and to do business deals with China and Russia? All we did was ask for a renegotiation of trade deals. This goes to show you, folks, if you've opened your fucking eyes, that the United States funded globalism with our money, with our consumption. We built China. We built Europe. We built all these countries. And now that we are done with building these people and now we want to rebuild our own country, they're acting like we just took a dirty diarrhea shit on their Sunday dress. They're acting like, oh, what the hell? I mean, they need to be smacked in their fucking mouths, man, for being unappreciative pricks. Oh, my God, my God, my God! Ugh! But once again, folks, Iran being used as a tool by the globalists. And look, these are all the globalists. I know all you white nationalists out there continue to love Russia because Russia is supposed to be some fucking nationalist country. I told you all, even going back as far as 2016, that Russia was at the bottom of globalism, you stupid fucking idiots! You have no idea of international relations if it slapped you upside your wannabe white supremacist head? Don't you understand? I mean, who's using Iran against us? I mean, aside from the UK, EU, Germany, and France teaming up with Russia and China, who's really allied with Iran? It's Russia. Russia! Russia is siding with Iran, for Christ's sake. And by the way, let's talk about Russia. Let's talk about China. Have you seen the latest headlines, folks? Huh? And this goes out to all you white nationalists and all you alt-right idiots that suck the schlong head of Vladimir Putin, trying to put him on a pedestal as being some kind of a Russian nationalist. Here, read the headlines after the UN General Assembly, you dicks. The headlines are as follows. Google this up if you don't believe me, idiots. Russia and China take up the globalist mantle as the U.S. sheds it. Huh? Oh, what happened? What happened, white nationalists? What happened, alt-right? What happened to Russia being a nationalist country against the globalists? You fucking idiots. You people don't know international relations if it hits you upside your fucking head. Once again, look this up. It says Russia and China take up the globalism mantle. Take up the globalism mantle as U.S. brushes its shoulders off with it, for Christ's sake. Now, I'd like to hear some of you Russian, pro-Russian idiots who always tried to claim that Russia was against globalism. They're now taking the mantle of globalism. And to be honest with you, it's Russia and China that are doing it. Russia and China. Now, what did China say at the United Nations? Okay, because we all know that China, they're obviously globalists. All right, I mean, they've already sold themselves out. I'm talking about the Communist government of China. They've sold out their people. So they're all in when it comes to globalism. So listen to what China said at the United Nations as it relates to globalism. China, okay? China said the following. At the United Nations, should we seek the architecture of the world order or allow it to be eroded upon and collapse? China's answer is clear-cut. China will keep its commitments and remain a champion of multilateralism. Huh? Oh, look at that. Isn't that sweet of China? They're going to be globalists until the end. And same with Russia. I mean, Russia, and look, you need to understand the difference between multilateral and unilateral. In the United Nations speeches, when you heard the term multilateral, that means globalism. That means multi-forces. That means multi-countries. That's globalism. When you hear unilateralism or unilateral, that means one country, one individual country, etc. And Russia criticized the United States, and not only did Russia criticize the United States, but Russia also criticized the United States on being a unilateral bully, so to speak. So why is Russia so pissed off about United States being unilateral if supposedly Russia is supposed to be anti-globalism? Because, folks, I've told you since 2016 that Russia, China, these assholes are at the bottom of globalism. Why? Because globalism is communism. I mean, it says it right there in the Marxist manifesto, Communist Manifesto. The communists want to consolidate power so that there is no citizen of a country. There are citizens of the world, a communist world. It's no wonder why the EU is doing business with Russia and China. What is the EU? The European Union. And once again, what was the last country to call itself a union? The Soviet Union. The Soviet Union. The first Russian communist nation state. The first communist nation state. Don't you understand, folks? We are witnessing a global consolidation of power under the name of communism. And I don't understand why people can't read the writing on the wall and understand this. I mean, what Donald Trump represents is far more than the domestic politics that these dumbasses on the left are worried about. It's about globalism. And that's what Trump said in his UN speech this past Tuesday. If you did not see Trump's UN speech, I strongly advise you to listen to it. He denounced the institutions of internationalism. He denounced the International Criminal Court. He denounced the United Nations. He put America first. America first. And that's why most of those assholes at the General Assembly didn't like it. If you take a listen to most of the speeches from the fucking heads of state at the United Nations, they were all globalists. They were all globalists. And I'm telling you, folks, the more and more time goes by, we are witnessing a motion going into play that could potentially lead to a World War III conflict. And that's why those of us that are Americans, we need to love being Americans. We need to want to fight and die Americans. That's why I encourage everybody who is capitalist, who is of the right wing of the political spectrum, to obtain a gun, a firearm, practice your Second Amendment rights, because that is the only reason why no one has invaded the United States of America. That is the only reason why no one has thrown anything at the United States of America. And if you want to count 9/11, then you don't know your ass from your elbow. 9/11, when they call it an inside job, it wasn't just American governments. It was a consolidation of globalism. All right, and I don't want to get into it. All right, but what happened after 9/11, regardless of how you think it came about? What happened after 9/11? The War of Civilizations. Now, why would they want the War of Civilizations? Because when there's war, there is opportunity. And what does that mean, opportunity? Opportunity to consolidate power. Because when people are under disorder, all they want is order. All they want is order, and they will exchange rights. They will exchange their freedom in order to obtain that order. That's why I'm saying everybody in this country needs to love this country. They need to love America. We need to love the fact that we have these freedoms that we have. We should not take them for granted. I mean, listen to me, folks. I have been on this broadcast for 10 years criticizing the government to the maximum capability, and I have not. I mean, maybe I've been intimidated by some federal authorities, by them coming up to me in real life, but they have not told me to stop. I have not been silenced. I have not been banned. I mean, I'm still able to say what I need to say because this is still somewhat of a free country. That's why I can continue to do this broadcast without having some goddamn authority come to my house and drag me out and put me in a van. We are the last bastion of freedom in this country, and we should appreciate it. We should fight to the death to covet it, to preserve it. I can't believe what you people, and when I mean you people, I'm not talking to people that are listening to me. I'm talking about the general American public. I can't believe that you people take this country for granted, man. I can't believe that you people take this country for granted, because now, if you want my opinion, if you take a look at what has happened here after the United Nations General Assembly, with the exception of a few allies that, the jury's still out on whether or not we can trust these new allies that we have as America, our old allies are all against us because they're all globalists, because they're all communist. It's not an accident why the UK, the EU, Germany, France, and Russia and China want to continue to do business with Iran, defying United States sanctions. I mean, they want, and I'm talking the globalists, are going to consolidate all their countries in an attempt to try to provoke us into a global conflict. Excuse me. A global conflict. And once again, they'll do it in the name of globalism, not in the name of Russia or China. They're doing it to consolidate power on a global scale. And thank God we have a president who isn't afraid to stand up to these motherfuckers. Thank God we have a president that isn't afraid to go right into the UN, right into the belly of the enemy, and say, we don't want your globalism. We don't want this globalist crap. You all can keep it. America will go on its own. We've been okay on our own, we've survived on our own, and we're going to stay on our own. You're goddamn right. And that's why everybody that we're trying to renegotiate trade deals with think that we owe them. They think we owe them. Do you understand how pompous that is? The Justin Trudeaus, the EUs, the Chinas, they think that we're just supposed to just endlessly supply them with money. All right? That we're just supposed to endlessly supply them with money without any kind of renegotiation of the contract, for Christ's sake. Without any renegotiation of the trade deal. And it's not as if the president is asking for a complete and total even keel of the trade deal. No. He's just asking, for instance, in China's case, we, the United States, give China $600 billion on an annual basis in a trade deficit. All the president is asking is that if China can take $250 to $300 billion off the top. I mean, that means that the Chinese are still bringing in $350 billion in United States trade deficits, but they don't want to do it. And you want to know why China doesn't want to do it? Because China, I am already certain that they've centrally planned their government's future based upon the expectation of the $600 billion that comes in on an annual, yearly basis into China from America. They've already planned for that. They can't afford to renegotiate that. So that's why they're playing such hardball. But you see, it looks like America can't renegotiate its trade deals. The globalists expect us to just continuously consume all these 2-bit break-in 6-month products so that China can rebuild itself. And the EU can rebuild itself. Hey, you've already rebuilt yourselves, you morons. It's time for America to rebuild itself. And thank God we got a president that understands this. So once again, you all can take your globalism and shove it up your ass. We don't give a fuck about your world. This is America. We don't give a fuck about your stupid world. Jesus Christ. We don't give a fuck about your world, man. This is America, and I hope that there's still American people out there that care about this country, that are willing to go out and put their lives on the line to save this country, man. All right? I hope there's still enough people out there that are strong enough, that have the balls enough to go out there and help save this country, man. God! Anyway, once again, folks, you can look this up for yourself. Russia and China taking up the globalist mantle as the United States brushes its shoulders off with it, man. And I'm glad we're brushing our shoulders off with this crap. I don't want this crap anymore, man. Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, folks, let me move on. Let me move on here. I do want to say that even though we've got China and Russia flexing nuts, and you've got the UK, the EU, Germany, and France wanting to do business with Russia and China, to do business with Iran, it doesn't matter. The United States is not sitting around waiting for these idiots to strike us. If China wants to play, if China wants to go to war, the United States will be waiting, okay? Did y'all hear that the United States conducted a live-fire military drill in the South China Sea, baby? Huh? How you like that, China? We're not fucking around either. All right, you want to go to war? We'll take you to war. You want a Cold War? You want a global war? I guarantee you, China, your goddamn country wouldn't be able to take it. Yeah, for all those that don't know, the United States was conducting live military drills out there in the South China Sea just to show these goddamn rice eaters that, listen, you could sit here and talk all this garbage all you want to. All right? You can talk all this garbage all you want to, but when it comes to acting, the United States ain't afraid to act. We're not going to posture anymore. We're ready for war, baby. I mean, just like General Mattis told these troops when he visited them once, I think it was about 6 months ago, that he guarantees that these troops will see combat time, and I sure as hell can't wait. I sure as hell can't wait, for Christ's sake, man. Jesus Christ. Anyway, once again, the U.S. conducts live military drills in the South China Sea. The USS Wasp amphibious group. These are the groups that were conducting the military drills. The USS Wasp amphibious group and the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit executed a series of air and sea-based drills. Now, according to the military, these drills were designed to improve proficiency when integrating fire support during a potential combat operation in the Pacific. So, we're getting ready, baby. All right, we're getting ready. We're not out here with our thumb in our ass thinking that damn China's just going to, go away. They're just going to go home and take their ball. No, wait a minute. We're ready for war, baby. All right? And let me tell you, the United States conducting military operations and military exercises in the South China Sea is literally like bitch slapping China in its face. I mean, do y'all remember during Barack Obama's time when China was trying to lay claim of the whole South China Sea, and he was, was being belligerent to those neighbors that had a border on the South China Sea? I mean, China has gone as far as making a makeshift artificial island in the middle of the South China Sea so it can lay claim to the son of a bitch. Y'all remember that crap, man? Y'all remember that? We didn't do anything to China during that time, nor did we even bother to conduct any kind of military operations in the South China Sea because Obama's a fucking pussy. But now, we're flexing nuts, baby. Look, I want you all to know that we are very close to an international conflict. I am not trying to say this to hyper-sensationalize anything. I mean, the globalists are turning their ugly heads on us, and they're trying to pressure us in every capacity necessary. I mean, why do you think they're trying to defy us with the Iran sanctions? I think people need to wake up, man. I mean, we're close to war. We're very close to war, to say the least. Once again, the U.S. conducts live military drills in the South China Sea. USS Wasp Amphibious Group and the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit executing air and sea-based drills, baby. Huh? What are you going to do, China? What are you going to do? Huh? We'll blindfold you with dental floss, huh? How you like that? We'll shove an egg roll up your ass. Anyway, since we're talking about Asia, let's talk a little bit about North Korea. Did y'all hear Pompeo, Secretary of State Pompeo? He came out here today and floated the idea of ending the Korean War ahead of the next Trump-Kim summit. Can you believe this? And listen, it's not as if we're not having cooperation with South Korea. I think that we're having very good talks between the United States, North Korea, and South Korea in this three-way talks that we've been conducting as of late. And it's actually flourishing some kind of substance, to say the least. I mean, like the president said, you don't see any more ballistic missile testing coming from North Korea. You don't see any weapons of mass destruction, nuclear testing in North Korea. During the last meeting between Kim Jong-un and South Korea's Moon Being-pai, or whatever his name is, between the last meeting between these two heads of state, you had Kim Jong-un open to the idea of allowing international inspectors to come into the North Korean continent to see and to make it certain that he was not producing any kind of weapons of mass destruction or testing or building any kind of ballistic missiles. So how come the mainstream media isn't talking about this? This is historic. This is world history in the making, and Donald Trump didn't have to use any goddamn military might. He used peace through strength. the art of the deal. I mean, all these supposed anti-war assholes on the left, where are they at congratulating this president for diverting a major war with North Korea? I mean, you understand? I mean, it's just like the president said. If there was a war with North Korea, millions of people would be dead. Because North Korea would just go all-out attack on South Korea, specifically Seoul, South Korea, the city of Seoul, and there's like 13 million people or something like that in South Korea. Just Seoul, the city of Seoul, South Korea alone. I mean, millions and millions of people would have died. And I have to agree with the president on this. You know, the lamestream media, you know, he's damned if he does, he's damned if he doesn't. I mean, lest we forget that the media was trying to hype up that, oh my God, Trump is going to get us into a nuclear war because he's tweeting at Kim Jong-un and he's making fun of his little button. Why did you make fun of his little button? Oh, God. Oh, he called him the Rocket Man. Oh, no. And now look at how far we've come in diplomacy when it comes to North Korea. Take a look at this shit, man. Where's the lamestream media hype on this? I mean, this should be historic, man. This is world history in the making. This president has barely been in office 2.5 years, and take a look at what he's accomplished amidst all the opposition, not just in his own country, but in the international community. I can say hands down that this is the greatest president in American history, and all he has been is just a president for almost a little over 2.5 years. 2.5 years. Oh, my God. Anyway, let's hope that Secretary of State Pompeo, which, mind you, I want to give props to Secretary of State Pompeo for being a great and excellent Secretary of State. Once again, he's floating the prospect of ending the Korean War ahead of the Trump-Kim summit. Ending the Korean War ahead of the Trump-Kim summit. Unbelievable. But where's the lamestream media on this? Where's the lamestream media on this? It's nowhere. It's hyping up the Democrats' politicization of rape. That's what it's doing. That's what the mainstream media is doing. Politicizing rape. Trivializing women who have been victimized by real rapists. I mean, this is the loser here. I mean, not to go back to the Kavanaugh situation, but women who have been brutalized and really raped are the ones that are losing. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to second guess every woman that claims sex abuse now after this Brett Kavanaugh situation. I'm going to second guess all of them. I'm not going to believe any of them. And you know what's sad? What's sad is that the reason I'm not going to believe them is because every woman is saying it. Every woman is saying it. I mean, what we should do, folks, especially you gentlemen, what you should do is start advocating a law that if women say and claim that they've been sexually abused and it turns out they've been lying, they should be thrown in jail for 10 years minimum. You understand? They should be thrown in jail for 10 years minimum. Jesus Christ. Anyway, folks, that is that's what all I've had on the damn production notes here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to drudge.com and read the headlines, folks. I have a little bit of, at the end of the show, Drudge, going over the Drudge headlines. If you want to follow with us, go ahead and go to drudgereport.com, and we're going to read out these Drudge Report headlines, for Christ's sake. Once again, Matt Drudge, he's a decent source of aggregating of information. So we're going to go over his headlines and see what's going on. Of course, the top headline on Drudge Report, another week. That's right, folks, another week in waiting for this yay or nay vote when it comes to Brett Kavanaugh. We already talked about that once again. We've already talked about this. According to one headline right here on Drudge, it says Buchanan. Of course, they're talking about Pat Buchanan. He's saying that this is a dress rehearsal for impeachment. And I agree. I completely agree, and I think that the Republicans capitulating this much to the Democrats, it's not going to spell good for the Republicans whatsoever. All right? Not going to, it's not. I mean, right now there are Republicans that are pissed off that the Republicans even did this. You know? Unbelievable. Let's go on. Let's talk about some headlines here. First headline, Kevin Spacey hit with new extreme assault suit from John Doe masseuse. Oh, Christ. Well, what's going to come up with this? Well, what is going to come up with this? All right, let's read this. And it says, warning, there is graphic content in this story. Oh, yeah? Well, let's read it. What is this? All right? This is out of the Deadline.com website by Dominic Patton. This was written on September 28, 2018. Kevin Spacey hit with sexual battery suit by masseur over extreme 2016 incident, okay? A little more than a month ago, since Spacey saw claims of another sexual assault case handed over to the Los Angeles County District Attorney, the former House of Cards actor has been sued for sexual battery and false imprisonment. Spacey, this is in quotes, Spacey assaulted and battered plaintiff by forcing plaintiff to touch his scrotum, testicles, and penis, grabbing plaintiff's shoulders, and pulling him in front for an apparent attempted forced kiss, and grabbing plaintiff's genitalia, alleges a pretty graphic multi-claim complainant this week in the L.A. Superior Court by a John Doe masseuse over a 2016 October encounter. Oh, my God. You know what? I don't even want to read anymore, for Christ's sake, all right? But what the hell's going to happen to this fruit bowl, Kevin Spacey? I mean, do you remember when it was alleged? Not alleged, it was told by an actor. An actor who had said that Kevin Spacey tried to sexually assault him when he was a 16, 17-year-old boy, and yet all Kevin Spacey had to do was say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but I'm gay. I'm gay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm a gay man. And yet Brett Kavanaugh, you know what? Never mind. I don't even want to go. Just forget it, all right? Just forget it. Anyway, home of Los Angeles Rams player burglarized during win. I don't know if y'all saw the game yesterday on NFL Thursday. Great game, LA Rams versus the Minnesota Vikings. A great win by the Rams. I think the Rams are 4-0. But of course, folks, because California is ran by a liberal state government and Los Angeles is ran by a liberal municipal government, I'm going to be honest, it has gone to hell in a handbasket. There is crime everywhere all over Los Angeles. Even the stars are having to deal with this. Even in supposed gated communities in Los Angeles, they're being robbed, they're being burglarized, they're being home invaded. I mean, lest we forget, what was that idiot, Broke Malone, what was his name? Post Malone, that's the name. Post Malone. Remember, his house got home invaded in L.A., but he wasn't there. Lest we forget that rapper French Montana. His house was home invaded in L.A. So L.A. is having major problems with these types of crimes. And do you find it a coinkydink? Is there a coinkydink that you have a liberal-based municipality in Los Angeles and a liberal-based state of California and have this much crime? Huh? I mean, good God, did you hear that within the past 3 years, the Los Angeles homeless problem has grown to 35,000 people living in the streets. 35,000 homeless people are living in the Los Angeles streets, Skid Row area to be exact. I'm serious, man. This is what liberalism does. This is what you're going to get if you elect Democrats in 2018. Now, let me go ahead and talk about this Los Angeles Rams player. And what's sad is that they were playing at home. The Rams were playing in L.A., for Christ's sake. Anyway, the Woodland Hills home of Rams receiver Robert Woods was burglarized Thursday night during his big performance in Los Angeles win over the Minnesota Vikings in primetime game in LA Memorial Coliseum. Excuse me. The Los Angeles Police Department responded to a call at the 23-100,000 block of Mariano Street in Woodland Hills at 7:20 p.m. Thursday, an LAPD spokesperson said. A source close to Woods confirmed the burglary. Woods was not immediately available for comment. Property was stolen, and the suspects, of course, remain at large. I mean, come on, man. This is what's happening in L.A., folks. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. You know, Antonio Sabato Jr., remember that model dude? Antonio Sabato Jr. Remember that guy? He's running for office out there in California as a Republican because he can't stand what liberals have done to California and Los Angeles. I mean, let alone San Francisco. Have you seen the shit and piss factory that San Francisco's turned into? Why don't you Google that one up and you'll understand what I'm talking about, for Christ's sake. Anyway, let me move on to the next headline. And I gabbed this, folks. I gabbed this next headline. Hackers cancel live stream deleting Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook profile. And what did this signify? It signified that a hacker breached the Facebook servers, which I find very hard to believe, considering that this is supposed to be $1 billion company with all these supercomputers and all this AI technology and security and all this other shit. But Facebook's security breach allowed hackers to control the accounts of up to 50 million users. So I'm telling you right now, if you need another reason to delete your Facebook account, here it is, right here, right now. Look, first of all, it's bad enough that Facebook is selling your information to advertisers. You know that? Hey, they just admitted today, believe it or not, Facebook admitted today that they're selling advertisers not only just your information, they're selling your cell phone information. For instance, if you've got to confirm your profile through your cell phone, they're selling your cell phone information. So there it is right there. That's Facebook for you, for all you dumb users out there that think Facebook is so great and you don't want to delete your profile. Here it is. This is what Facebook thinks about your personal information. Aside from it being valuable to them and making them fucking large sums of billions and billions of dollars, they're not even securing it enough. They allowed some hackers to go in there and aggregate all this fucking data. So there you go. There's Facebook for you. 50 million users affected by a hacker. Oh, that's Facebook for you. That's Facebook. Jesus Christ. And what's going to happen to Mark Zuckerberg? Huh? I mean, even the people that own shares of this goddamn company should be calling for Mark Zuckerberg to be removed. You know? All right? I mean, Mark Zuckerberg needs to be removed. Anyway, let's continue on. Next headline. This is out of The Hill. Video shows border wall construction underway in Texas, baby. All right? All right, you're damn right. So even though the wall isn't completely built, it's already being built out there in the San Diego border, and it's now being built here in Texas, baby. You understand that? We're not messing around, even if there isn't any funding. We're going to make it happen. Anyway, let me get to a little bit of this article. This is out of The Hill. It says, video shows border wall construction underway in Texas. A video released this week shows construction underway in El Paso, Texas, for a portion of the U.S. border wall. The video published by the El Paso Times shows construction beginning to replace an existing fence with a wall in Chawayita, I think that's how you say it, El Paso's oldest neighborhood. The wall construction, for which began last Saturday, is set to run from Chawayita and continue east for 4 miles. The 18-foot steel bollard wall will replace the chain-link fence and metal fencing as part of President Trump's executive order last year, authorizing construction of his wall along the U.S.-Mexican border, baby. All right? So the wall is coming up. The only thing we need to do is hope and pray that we have enough goddamn Republicans going out in 2018 to vote Republican. Because this way, there's not going to be any kind of obstructionists in an attempt to not only build this wall, but to reform immigration. And what does the president want? He wants an end to the immigration lottery system. He wants a limitation to chain migration and limited it to spouses and children. And he wants a border wall, for Christ's sake. Jesus Christ. Anyway, let me move on, for Christ's sake. What is this? German city braces for protest as Erdogan, which is Turkey's president, opens a mega mosque. A mega mosque in a German city. You see what I'm saying, folks? You see, this is what happens when you open your arms and open your borders and allow a bunch of Yehudis just to settle in your country. This is what happens. The elimination of the country itself. Just like the president said, if you have no borders, you have no country. This is out of Cologne, Germany. Turkish President Erdogan is set to open one of Europe's largest mosques in Cologne on Saturday as he wraps up a controversial visit to Germany, with police deploying in force amidst planned protests. The inauguration will be the closing event of Erdogan's 3-day state visit aimed at repairing frayed ties with Berlin after 2 years of tensions. 2 years of tension. I mean, do you see what I'm saying? Who is in charge of Germany, folks? It is none other than Angela Merkel. I am Angela Merkel, and I am okay with the mosque in Cologne, Germany. You all will face Mecca, and you'll face Mecca now, because I am Angela Merkel. This is it. Another woman leader flushing a country, an entire country, down the proverbial toilet. Unbelievable. And once again, the largest mosque, baby, in Europe is going to be in Cologne, Germany. How you like that? What did I tell you? Look at how fast that was. They didn't allow the immigrants into Germany until, what, 2015? Right? Early 2015 is when the big migrant crisis happened. Why don't you count those years? 2015, and we are now in 2018. Take a look at how far we've gone in a mere 3 years. Huh? Huh? You want open borders? Huh? You want open borders? That's what you get. That's what you get, for Christ's sake, all right? Anyway, let me move on here. We've got some stupid articles that I don't even really want to cover here, so let me move on. What is this? Man guilty of biting dog. He wanted to establish dominance. What are you talking about? What is this shit? And, of course, it's a black guy. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, look, no offense against blacks. I don't mean anything racial against that, but, I mean, when I read there that he bit his dog to establish dominance, I mean, I don't know. And what's up with black people and dogs? Haven't you noticed that? Man, all black people all got to have pit bulls and big-ass dogs and be like, yeah, baby, I got my dogs, baby. What the hell is that about? Anyway, a Florida man, of course he's in Florida too. Florida, I hate to say it, folks, Florida is legitimately the colon of America. It is geographically positioned to be one too, but it is the colon of America. A Florida man who admitted biting his dog to establish dominance over the animal has pleaded guilty to a felony charge, but has avoided prison time in connection with the bizarre incident. According to court records, Patrick Sherrod Campbell, 27 years old, pleaded guilty Friday to an animal cruelty charge and was sentenced to 4 years probation by Palm Beach County judge. I'm not reading any more of this. I'm not reading about a black man biting his dog, for Christ's sake, man. Good God. Anyway, what is this? What is it? Let me get to the next headline. What is this? Michelle O urges young voters to take their power back. Shut up, Michelle Obama, all right? We don't want to hear from your tranny ass anymore, all right? I'm tired of Michelle Obama. Just go to the nearest glory hole and do what you do best, you sick freak. All right? And if this broad thinks that she, or this tranny, I should say, if this tranny thinks that it's running for president, I want a woman check on Obama. I want a woman check on Michelle Obama. And lest we forget, folks, that Joan Rivers came out and said that we all know Michelle Obama is a tranny. Everybody knows. It's okay. And a month after Joan Rivers announced that Michelle Obama was transgendered, she was dead. She was dead. And how did she die? Well, Joan Rivers, knowing that, anybody who wants to take a hit out on Joan Rivers, they would know that she likes plastic surgery. And that's where she died. She died on the surgeon's table during a plastic surgery situation. Made it look like an accident. Huh? A month after she said that Michelle Obama is a fucking dick-swinging tranny. Jesus Christ. Let's move on, all right? How about this? Facial recognition technology used at airports had 85% match rate during tests. Oh, that's great, isn't it? Huh? Doesn't that make you feel more secure now? It's not as if that TSA agents feeling you, your wife, and your children up isn't bad enough, doesn't make you feel safer enough. No, here we've got facial recognition technology at airports. Isn't that great? The U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency is expected to complete a 30-day test next month of the use of facial recognition technology to screen international travelers at Los Angeles International Airport. All right? I mean, of course it's a test program, but it's going to be put in every airport. It's ridiculous. It's not meant to screen international travelers. It's meant to screen the United States people. Why don't you just stay out of my business, government? All right? Stay out of my business, man. I don't want a totalitarian police state. Just stay out of my business, man. Jesus Christ. Give me a water. Give me a goddamn water, for Christ's sake. All right, what else do we have here? Oh, caravans of illegals continue to pour over the U.S.-Mexican border. Well, of course they are. Of course they're coming in across the United States border because we have a government that is supposed to be ran by Republicans that are truly not Republicans, like a Jeff Flake and Corker and these stupid dumb broads, Markowski and Collins. And I mean, these people are a joke, man. These people are an unbelievable joke. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. It just makes me sick, folks. I don't know what else to say. And hey, this just in, folks. This just in. Kavanaugh accuser, doctor, and believe it or not, this stupid kookster's a doctor. She's a California psychologist professor with links to Hillary Clinton. I'm talking about Christine Blasey Ford. Her team, quote unquote, her team, I wonder who's paying for her fucking team, is saying a no to a 1-week FBI investigation deadline into Kavanaugh, as the president has ordered, and Senator Flake and others have promised, to adding that they want a no-limit time on scope. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's all coming clear now, right? I mean, why are the Republicans even playing footsies with these damn Democrats, man? I mean, and not to mention, is everybody in America soulless to just ignore that horrific and, I mean, very emotional opening statement by Brett Kavanaugh, for Christ's sake, man? I mean, can you believe this? I mean, I feel bad for Brett Kavanaugh, man. This guy, I mean, he's breaking down. He's crying during his speech. He's trying to plead, we mean no harm. I mean, I feel bad for this guy, man. And because some stupid cunt who was talking like a little girl, hi, I'm Blase Ford, talking like a little girl. Yeah, and I'm going to smile the way through the testimony because this is my time to shine. And I've got over $700,000 in GoFundMes. Yeah, thanks, Democrats. I mean, you understand what's going on here, folks? And I can't believe that the Republicans, they allowed this to happen. And you know, Jeff Flake, did you see that some stupid... this was a complete setup. Some sex abuse survivor cornered Jeff Flake in the goddamn... what is it? In an elevator. And it was like, how can you do this, Jeff Flake? I was right. How could you do this, Jeff Flake? It was a setup. It was a fucking setup. I wouldn't be surprised if the Democrats and Jeff Flake set that up themselves, because lest we forget, this morning, Jeff Flake said he was going to say and vote yes to Kavanaugh, and then this ridiculous confrontation between Flake, and it wasn't even a confrontation. It was just some stupid, dumb bimbo who claims to be sexually abused yelling at Flake, and Flake just sitting there taking it like an impotent jerk. And why... And look, I'm going to be honest with you. It comes down to 3 states when it comes to Republicans, okay? It comes down to nuclear waste dump, Arizona, okay? Because that's who elected Jeff Flake. Lest we forget, these are the same people that elected John Turncoat McCain all these years. It seems that all that nuclear waste dumpage in Arizona is finally getting to the head of these stupid idiots in Arizona. Who else? Oh, Markowski out of nuclear waste dump Alaska. How come it's all these nuclear sparsely populated waste dumps that we're having the most problems with? Huh? Markowski out of nuclear waste dump Alaska. And guess what? Collins, guess what? Out of that ice hole, Maine. Out of that useless ice hole, Maine, that gets subsidies out the ass from the federal government just so they can maintain sustenance out here. And these are the 3 fucking Republicans that are out here saying, I don't know if... Like fucking that stupid dumb bitch Susan Collins looks like she's suffering from some goddamn dementia and Parkinson's. She can't stop shaking her fucking head. No, I'm Susan Collins. I don't know if I can vote. I don't know if I can vote for Kavanaugh because I'm a woman, or at least I play one on TV, and I can't... Shut up! So what's going to happen? Since Blase Ford's team is saying no to a 1-week investigation deadline into Kavanaugh, I mean, why did the Republicans capitulate to this to begin with, man? And I'm telling you, over the weekend, just watch, there's going to be more Kavanaugh accusers, even though Kavanaugh never touched any of these people. I feel bad for Kavanaugh. Any man that has to admit to the world that he was a virgin, not only throughout high school, but 10 years after high school, and have to talk about all the language and the vernacular and how much beer he drank. Since when did the Democrats all of a sudden become this moralist party, for Christ's sake? Remember, the Democrats are the same people that champion the LGBTQ movement. The LGBTQ movement are the same people that have these gay parades which have oral copulation between 2 men right in front of children now. They're having it right in front of children. And this is championed by the left, right? Sexualizing children is championed by the left, but now because they have a conservative in this confirmation process for the Supreme Court, they're going to try to out-moralize the conservative. I don't know why the Republicans went this direction, but I'm telling you right now, I don't know if this is intentional establishment sabotage, because the Republicans, which are establishment anyway, don't want pro-Trump Republicans taking over their party, and it seems like a one big collusion, if you want my opinion, folks. So this is why I'm telling you, this 2018 election is more important than ever. Why do you think they dusted off goddamn Barack Obama? Why do you think they got Michelle Obama? They got all these people out here trying to talk because they know how important this election is. You folks on the right, you capitalists, you Republicans, you right-wingers out there, you have to know how goddamn important this election is, man. And you need to go out and you need to tell everybody you know to go and vote Republican. And if you don't, well then bring them over here. Bring them to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast so they can listen and they can realize why they need to vote Republican in 2018 midterms, man. By God, it's that important, man. Don't you understand that? Why do you think I turned this broadcast into a serious broadcast, man? I'm telling you all right now, if the Democrats win in 2018, I am done with this broadcast. All right, I'm not kidding. Because what use is it of me conducting this broadcast if no one is not only going to listen, but be inspired enough to go out and force more people to listen? Go out and do something and be inspired to get as many people as they possibly can to go out and vote for Republicans in 2018. It's that fucking important, man. It's that fucking important. But what am I going to do? Am I going to continue to do broadcasts and give everybody my heart and my fucking soul when everybody's just sitting on their thumbs? Like 2016 never existed to you dumbasses. I'm telling you, I'm saying this right now. If the Republicans lose the midterms, I am ending this broadcast. I'm ending the broadcast. And look, it's not like I'm making any fucking money on this broadcast anyway, okay? I'm doing this because I believe in my political ideology. But it seems to me, much like I said in the beginning of this broadcast, there are too many people that are emotionally, mentally, and politically immature. They're so immature that they're willing to fall for this disingenuous emotionalism that is being constantly conveyed by the Democrats. How can anybody believe this crap? I don't get it! And if they're going to believe this crap, folks, then they're already far gone. I mean, if you've got adult people that are able to be manipulated by people that don't even know how to act emotional, i.e. the Democrats, then what the hell am I doing? Then I'm not the one that's going to convince these people. These people are too far gone. And that's why I'm saying, folks, it's as if 2016 didn't even happen for you people. It's as if 2016 didn't even happen. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. Unbelievable, folks. But I mean that. I'm not just saying that. If the Democrats lose, or excuse me, if the Democrats win the majority, if the Democrats win the majority and there's a blue wave, I'm out of here. I'm not going to fucking sit here and continue to do this. I'm going to go live my life while Trump has a year or two left. I'm going to go live my life. I mean, everybody else is. I mean, if the Democrats win in the 2018 midterms, all of you morons are living your fucking lives. That means all of you guys were out there waxing your carrot to fucking cartoon pornography. You were out there playing your fucking video games. You were out there doing stupid, meaningless shit. When, what wasn't but in 2016, we all made the impossible possible. Anyway, folks, I'm just saying, I'm just telling the truth. We got a month away. If the Democrats do win, then what the hell am I doing here? I'm not even making any money doing this shit. So what the fuck am I doing here? Anyway, I'm going to get the hell out of here. All right, I'm already 8 minutes into this 4th hour into the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. I'm going to get the hell out. All right? But by God, I hope you understand how serious this is, all right? How serious this election is, for Christ's sake. And I'm telling you, I mean, if we lose the 2018 midterms, I'm out of here. I'll be once again another memory in internet history, because it seems as if everybody loves the way they are. It seems everybody loves this stupid, pathetic version of life. Everybody likes living in La La Land. Nobody wants to live in reality. Nobody wants to be in common sense land anymore. So I'm done with it. I'm done. And we shall see what happens in the 2018 midterms in a month from now. But we shall see. We shall see what happens. Anyway, folks, I'm going to get the hell out of here. I will be back this Monday. Monday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time. Once again, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, ghost.report, all right? That's all you got to type in your browser. Add that to your bookmarks. Add that to your favorites. Once again, ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And once again, folks, if you appreciate the content, I mean, who knows? I may just be here for a month. I don't even know. I mean, we shall see what happens in the midterms. But if you do appreciate the broadcast, go ahead and go to the cryptocurrency wishing well at ghost.report and, throw a little something in the cryptocurrency wishing well. Make a wish, and all of your dreams will come true. And once again, folks, if you do throw more than a $25 in cryptocurrency, if you do throw more than $25 equivalent USD in cryptocurrency, I'll send you some fucking production notes, all right? I'll send you some production notes that I handwrite myself, all right? That I handwrite my goddamn self. But anyway, folks, I'm not trying to be some, I'm going to leave, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. But, folks, I mean, goddamn, how far have we fallen off of the political seriousness here? In 2018, we all made the impossible possible by all of us going out there and willing Donald Trump into the presidency. We willed this man in the presidency. And look at those same people. Some of the same people that were aiding the impossible to be possible in 2016 are putting their thumbs in their asses and being such a bunch of morons now that I don't think that we have a fucking chance. But we shall see. All right, we shall see. Anyway, folks, I'm going to get the hell out of here. I will be in the True Capitalist Radio chat room here in about 25 minutes. If you want to come kick it with us, let me tell you how you can do so. All right, listen up. If you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, listen up, okay? All you've got to do is go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost, and click the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Click the subscribe button for premium content. Oh yeah, by the way, if I don't do broadcasts anymore, I'll still do some blogs on Ghost.Report. I will obviously come into the Ghost True Capitalist Radio chat room. I mean, I'll still be doing all that. I'm just not going to be doing broadcasts. But hey, we still got a whole month ahead. We may still see a red wave, and if we see a red wave, well then, I mean, we in there, right? I mean, if we see a red wave, we in there, baby. So I will be hanging in the chat rooms more often than I am doing the broadcast. So if you want to be a part of the chat room, once again, go to my Gab account, Politics Ghost, and click the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Click the subscribe button for premium content. Once you do that, private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, because that's where the chat room resides, the Discord platform. Let me know your Discord chat name, and I will private message you back on Gab with a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast chat room. It's that damn simple, all right? That damn simple. Anyway, folks, thank you all for listening to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. All right, once again, we shall see what happens here in the next month. But I want you all to know that the reason that I do this broadcast is in hopes of sparking synapses in the brains of capitalists throughout the world And I sincerely hope that those out there that are listening, not just in America, but throughout the world, I want you all to know that when you have the knowledge of a capitalist, that you can make things happen. And I hope that I'm inspiring some of you, if not most of you, to become impacts in your general realm of influence. I want you all to become the politicians of your countries. I want you to utilize your political influence so that you can create a capitalist idea that will be accepted amongst your people. Because capitalism is the only social organization idea that will give opportunity to all that seek it, as opposed to the communist and socialist models, which consolidate power into the dictatorship of the proletariat, and it is up to the state what you have and what you don't have. Anyway, folks, thank you all very much for tuning in with me. I will be back this Monday, once again, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time. This is episode number 622, episode number 622. This is September 28th, 2018. I will see you next time. Long live the capitalist army, and death to feminism! Death to socialism! And death to communism! You're goddamn right, baby! I hope that you can hear me! I hope that you can hear the passion. I hope that you can hear the fury every time I conduct this broadcast, because I'm calling on you to make things happen. I'm calling on you to make things happen, because without capitalists, these little people in government wouldn't be able to exist. Always remember that. Without us capitalists, these little people in government would not exist. Always remember that. I'm out of here, boy. Woo!